21st, 2026. I will be opening the public hearing for water and sewer. Madam Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Yes. Councilor Santos.
Present.
Councilor Samad, absent. Councilor Valley is absent. Councilor DeZoglio.
Present.
Councilor Drew.
Here.
Councilor McLaren.
Present.
Councilor Marsan.
He is here.
Oh, he's sick. Councilor Pesh.
Present.
And Chair Soto.
Present.
2 absent.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thanks. Is there anyone here to participate in, yes? Yes. Okay. Okay.
Do you want to maybe make an announcement?
I'll give that to you. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Just let them know.
Okay. This is for water and sewer. Yeah, yes. So we're opening up public participation for water and sewer. If by any chance your name is called on the water and sewer sign-up sheet, just let us know that you're here for the budget public hearing, not water and sewer.
And it looks as though there are several names just by the content that are probably that. So just let me know if you're on the other one and we'll just hold it. First on this list for water and sewer budget hearing is Jillian Sullivan. Next. Okay. Don Lemieux. Okay. Don Reeby. Okay. Kristen Maxwell. Next. Lindsay Flores. Budget, yeah. Sorry. Allison Dwyer. Okay. Ben Thompson. Okay. And Sharon LaPlante. Okay. Was there one name on the other?
That's the proper.
Okay, so is there anyone that didn't sign up for public participation that would like to speak now on the water and sewer budget? Okay, that will close public participation.
Thank you, Madam Vice. With that being said, I will take a motion to adjourn the public hearing for water and sewer.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Drew, seconded by Councilor Pesh. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Hearing closes at 6:03 PM.
There was one.
6:15 for the public hearing for the municipal budget. I'm going to open up public participation. Madam Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Council Smart is absent. Council Bell.
Here.
Council Scoglio.
Here.
Council Drew.
Here.
Council McLaren.
Present.
Council Marson. Here. Council Pesh.
Present.
Councilor Santos.
Present.
And Chair Soto.
Present.
One absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
We're opening public participation now. Madam Vice, if you may.
Thanks. I'm just updating the sheet. And we did have the sheets up here, so if anybody at the end, I will ask if you haven't signed up, you're welcome to speak anyway, even if you didn't sign up on the sheet. At this time, we will open public participation. Speakers are reminded to state their name and address for the record prior to speaking. Each speaker shall be allotted a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. They will receive a warning when 1 minute remains and will not be permitted to speak after the allotted time. Speakers, as well as audience members, are expected to conduct themselves in a respectful and orderly manner. Any disruptive behavior may result in immediate removal of such person to restore order and ensure the orderly conduct of this meeting. Thank you. First up, we have Jillian Sullivan.
Good evening. My name is Jillian Sullivan, and I'm a lower school reading specialist at the Tenney Grammar School. I wanted to speak tonight to let you all know that I do not agree with any of these cuts or changes that will affect our schools. All of these positions matter. All our teachers matter. All our students matter. But most importantly, tonight, I stand before you to once again discuss the possibility of cutting reading specialists in the district. By eliminating these positions, we are saying to our students that we service, we are so sorry. We cannot afford to help you any longer. It is giving up on Methuen's most struggling students. Is that the message we want to send? Mayor Beauregard, as I was walking out of a recent school committee meeting, you had asked me what school I taught at, and I proudly said, I'm a reading specialist at the Tenney. You then said to me, we need more of you. Thank you for valuing reading specialists in our schools. I am hopeful and confident you will do what is right to support our students. Our students are depending on all of us to make thoughtful decisions that protect their opportunities and strengthen their education and invest in their future. Our students deserve to feel supported, valued, and inspired. Investing in reading specialists in Methuen is an investment in the overall health of our district. Methuen's literacy initiative cannot succeed through curriculum alone. It requires certified reading specialists who can deliver high-quality, small group intervention where students can receive targeted attention, build confidence, and learn essential skills. As educational demands increase, the need for reading specialists is at its greatest. This district should ensure that every student has access to the literacy support that is necessary for long-term academic success. Literacy is the foundation of all learning, and every child deserves the support needed to become a confident reader. Thank you.
Next, we have Dawn Lemo.
Hi, my name is Dawn Lemieux, and I am proud to serve as a school nurse at the Early Childhood Center on Branch Street. I'm speaking tonight in support of the district's educators, all support staff, and my fellow healthcare professionals. When you hear the word school nurse, what first comes to mind? For most people, it is someone that is handing out ice pack and bandages. In actuality, we are much more than that. Yes, we do treat minor injuries and illness. We also manage chronic conditions, respond to emergencies, and support our students' mental health. We are often the bridge between healthcare and education. Currently in our district, we have 33 students that have diabetes who require continuous monitoring throughout the day. 488 students with asthma, 632 with EpiPens for allergic reactions, 88 scheduled daily medications, 6 G-tube feeds, and 48 students with a seizure disorder that requires medication. The numbers don't lie. When we say we need staff, our request can be backed up with hard numbers and facts. We are 12 nurses, and we are responsible for each and every student that attends our schools. Our team is running at its limit. At the start of the day, the 6 schools combined have 175 scheduled appointments each day. That does not take into account our walk-ins. It does not include staff that may require our assistance, whether it's personal issue or they are injured at work. The number also does not take into consideration the numerous phone calls that come into the nurse's office. Again, there is so much that goes unnoticed and simply cannot be explained. We have not even finished this current school year, and the nurse offices combined have already seen enough students to fill up Gillette Stadium. If you need a number, it's 61,800 as of the end of day yesterday. For those of you that don't know, Gillette can seat approximately 64,000. By the end of the school year, we will probably reach 70. As licensed professionals, we also carry personal liability insurance for the care we provide. As I previously mentioned, much of what we do carries legal and professional consequences. Because of this, nursing responsibilities cannot be delegated to unlicensed staff. No one else in our schools can substitute for a nurse. In fact, the health office is unique because only another nurse can provide coverage when the nurse is absent. With 3 personal days each, that's 36 days that a sub-nurse would be needed on top of 6 calls. With only 12 nurses district-wide and a very limited sub-pool, even one absence places significant strain on the system. Something has to change. We are 12 barely hanging on, and as I previously mentioned, we have been down 1 nurse since January. This leaves our sub-pool even longer. As school nurses, we're often expected to attend field trips. A nurse is required when there's a student or several that require care that cannot be delegated. Our license does not automatically allow us to practice out of state lines. We are Massachusetts nurses, not New Hampshire, not Maine, not Florida. These field trips require background work that, again, goes unnoticed. Interstate nursing practice involves legal and regulatory considerations that must be reviewed carefully before an out-of-state trip can be approved. More importantly, we need to be sure that we have appropriate coverage for the field trip. With currently staffing levels, there are times when field trips cannot safely occur because there are simply not enough nurses available. We should not get pushback from staff and administration when a field trip is not able to occur. We should be working together, not against each other. We want the students to have these experiences and opportunities. We simply cannot give what we don't have. Our current school year, the district operated without a nursing director, and those responsibilities were delegated to one of our high school nurses, in addition to her regular school nurse duties. This year, the proposal is to eliminate the nurse director position entirely. As nurses, that leaves us without proper clinical leadership and support, despite the fact that only another nurse can appropriately supervise, guide, and assist nursing
And just a
staff
1-minute warning.
in their care. 1-minute warning. So I will jump ahead. An example of numbers. In the district, there are 12 nurses for 6 schools, yet there are 17 principals for 5. There are 1,784 students at the high school. That's a ratio of 1 nurse for 92 students, and 1 to 357 per principal. That is a difference of 535. Does this seem right? The same holds true for the 4 grammar schools. If our district has 17 principals for 5 schools, but only 12 nurses serving 6 schools, shouldn't our students have access to more nurses to ensure their health and safety during the day? Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Hello, good evening. My name is Dawn Reeby. I'm the strategic planner and crime analyst for Methuen. Thank you, Mayor, Council, and of course, Chief, for having me here today. So the Chief was brought on board to really transform the police department and help it be accountable and data-driven. And often we don't really understand, we could say data-driven, but we're like, what the heck, what does it actually mean to be data-driven? What does that mean? So My goal over the next 4.5 minutes is to share with you what it actually looks like to be a data-driven agency, what it's looked like over the last 4 years, and where we want to go with it. So the first part of it is tactical and operational analysis. Studying our information in our community, our crimes, our burglaries, our robberies, right? Our ATM thefts, our motor vehicle crimes, our other social harms that may, be noise disruptions, and figuring out what are the patterns in this community and how do they relate to the area communities as well? How can we collaborate and pull all that information together so that we can be proactive in our efforts to reduce? So what does that look like? Well, a couple of Januaries ago, we had about 30 motor vehicle breaks. I don't know if you guys remember in this community in 1 month, right? And so my role is to read all the police reports that come into this city here, as well as area agency reports. And I was able to identify that an individual over from Groveland, Massachusetts, was passing through our community. He was using a different name. We didn't know who he was, but because I talked to the detective out there and worked through the regional information, we were able to clear those cases here. So that's really providing data, using information not just within our community, but outside of our community to drive where we patrol, where we put officers. Same thing happened with catalytic converters. Where do we find our catalytic converter thieves? Well, we put them exactly where we need to put them, and we use data to do that. And that's my role, to analyze that information, to look at that information. And so where do we want to go with that? Well, we want to move more into the intel. So the last couple of years have been, with a bad record, a different records management system. We didn't have the ability to easily extract. Now we do. So now we can create these systems to even support patrol and detectives even more, to help clear more cases, to help solve more problems, to help put officers where they need to be, measure the time that they're on calls, show some accountability, right? Be a proactive agency that we set out to be 5 years ago. Another thing that has been, one of the key things, as you all have heard over the last couple of days, is the PATH problem, mental health problem in our community. So when I came here, the chief said, jokingly, if we can fix this, right? And so we had to figure out what the problem was. And so we had to use data to figure that out. We had all of our officers, reluctantly, but thankfully, writing reports for every single mental health call that came into this community. And we analyzed it. Who are our repeat people? How can we better support these people? What intercept can we be most effective at? So studying that information allows us to make better decisions. Then we knew we needed a program. We researched the most best practice programs, and then we had no money. So then I researched grants along with Frontline. Certainly Matthew Page Shelton assisted in a lot of that. And retained $1 million for the city to build that PATH program, to bring in multiple clinicians, to help over 1,000 people in this community be better served, not going to the jails, not going to the hospitals, but instead being served, being called right to our clinicians. They don't. Some of them don't even call 911 anymore. They call our clinicians. So that program started with data, with information, driving those decisions. And guess what? That program is measured with data, figuring out what gaps we need to fill now. And that's really the next step. The gap we need to fill is money, right? So doing additional research on funding opportunities, on partnership opportunities, that's my role as analyst.
And just a 1-minute warning.
Oh, geez, okay. So the records management system. So this agency has developed a records management system, purchased a records management system. Well, now we finally have access to all this beautiful data. So I've spent the last several months coding, writing 30 pages of technical jargon, really, to develop a complete analytical system. And now it exists. We have it. We gave it to Lawrence. They implement it. We're giving it to the nation. They're implementing it. So these are the technical skills that are needed to build out what we need. So now we have the ability to deliver this information much more quickly, to allow the community to receive that transparency. That public-facing portal is the next step for us. Real-time dashboards, predictive policing. So when Chief was hired, and I'll close with this, when Chief was hired, he was hired to shift and change this community, this police department, and he has done that with proactive policing. If we take that away, we go back. And I know that we don't want to go there. So please reconsider this position. Thank you.
Kristen Maxwell.
Hi, Kristen Maxwell, 5 East Prospect Street. I'm going to speak from the heart because the situation is absolutely heartbreaking. Nobody wants to see teachers lose their job. Nobody wants to see police officers lose staffing or resources. And no one wants to see firefighters continue working in inadequate conditions. People need to stop acting like the school crisis suddenly appeared overnight and like the city council created it, because they didn't. Many of us saw this coming years ago. Questions were asked, concerns were raised, warning signs were there, and they were ignored. The school committee's job is literally oversight of the district, the budget, spending, and long-term planning. They even created a finance subcommittee last year, specifically to help prevent situations like this. And yet here we are again. 119 positions on the chopping block, teachers potentially losing jobs, families panicking and pulling their kids, and students paying the price. Our priorities are backwards, especially when we're talking about eliminating teachers, reading specialists, and counselors before every other option has been exhausted. While I was on the school committee, and even just a few weeks ago, there were other ideas brought forward before touching classrooms and student-facing positions. I personally brought up restructuring ideas, pay-to-play sports, tuition for full-day kindergarten, and upper admin cuts, other reductions, but no one else wanted to have those conversations. Instead, we talk about things like school choice when we're already bursting at the seams. Now, once again, people are asking the city council to use free cash to bail the schools out. But imagine what the city could do actually with the free cash if millions of dollars weren't being used year after year to cover the school budget shortfalls caused by poor financial planning and lack of oversight. And let's be honest about the numbers. The schools aren't just asking the city for $4.5 million. They're also counting on another $4 million from the state. That's roughly a $9 million hole. But when will it be enough? Because during COVID, the district received millions in temporary ESSER funding, followed by a major increase in Chapter 70 funding in 2023 of just about $8 million, and that didn't fix it. Instead of using that temporary and increased funding to stabilize the district and address long-term financial issues, spending continued to grow as if that level of money would last forever. So if this council is considering the $4 million bailout for the schools, then I hope you're also considering police and fire. Because compared to $9 million deficit, $1.8 million for police and $800,000 for fire is a drop in the bucket to help maintain safety in this community. I truly hope the city council can step in and help again, because students and staff should not suffer for the failure of adults. But I also hope residents start paying closer attention to their school committee and make sure that they're actually doing the job that they were elected to do. Overseeing the budget, ask hard questions, and plan responsively before problems turn into crises. I also want to say that I wouldn't support a Prop 2.5 override in this because it's not a solution. I'd gladly pay higher taxes if residents were actually seeing the value in return, but taxes are already high enough and people are asking themselves for what? Methuen deserves better than this, and I hope residents remember this, all of this, next election season. Please stop voting for your friends and start voting for people willing to put this city and its long-term well-being first. Because while adults play politics, avoid difficult discussions, and worry about optics rather than accountability, classrooms keep getting bigger and harder, teachers keep getting overwhelmed, and students keep falling through the cracks. It's time to actively listen and actually fix something. Thank you.
Lindsay Flores.
My name is Lindsay Flores, 26 Arthur Street. As a parent of 2 children at Methuen Public Schools, one who receives special education services, I'm very concerned about the budget and the cuts. We are cutting at a very crucial time. First off, how can we start cutting positions when we cannot staff all the positions? Special education is outsourcing several positions just to meet legal requirements. We are also sending many students out of district that honestly, with the right staffing and programming, they could remain in district. I know this is my child was almost an out of district child. Second, how can we cut classroom teachers and increase class size? Everyone wants to talk about how important literacy is and how we need to intervene early. The increase in class size will ensure the literacy rate will decrease and Methuen will fall further behind. With the large class size, teachers will not be able to provide effective instruction to the students in front of them as well as interventions. Cutting crucial positions such as reading specialists is a detriment to all of our students. Have any of you stepped into the classrooms recently? The classrooms and students we have in front of us are very different than before. Many students are coming into kindergarten, they do not know the basic information, know how to write their name, some don't even know how to state their name. Teachers are being asked to not only teach the students, but teach them life skills, ensure they pay attention, and as well as being a counselor. Let's not leave out the numerous behaviors that take place in a classroom. The behaviors interfere with the learning of the students. Classrooms need to be evacuated and the trauma of the other students who have to endure this. I know I do not send my child into a general education classroom to witness behaviors, her learning to be interrupted, and for her to come home and tell me all about these behaviors. How can we cut the budget with the MCAS scores that were released this year? It's sickening to see the number of students that receive proficiency at the 3rd grade level. If any of these students need more intervention to get to proficiency and close the gaps. What happens if we do not invest in our schools? These students miss the foundational skills and then they become special education students where we are legally bound to provide the services. When we first moved to Methuen, we did so due to the special education department and the programming known. In preschool, my son received an amazing program at the time. People are not knocking on the doors of Methuen. Many are running away due to the drastic cuts in the school budgets. This will decrease the home values and decrease the taxes that come in to support the city. We need to invest in our schools now. These kids are the future and we cannot fail them. Thank you.
Allison Dwyer.
Good evening. I appreciate my name is Allison Dwyer, and I'm one of the nurses at the Tenney Grammar School. I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I'm grateful to the committee as well as the public and the staff that are here to advocate for the school district. We are fortunate to have so much advocacy and involvement. It goes without saying that nursing supports all of the wonderful staff that contribute to the quality experience our students receive. The teachers, paras, custodial and kitchen staff, counselors, administrators, and so many others all contribute, and we cannot function without them, so we support them as well. But specific to nursing, we were informed that the health assistants are some of the positions that are set to be eliminated from the district budget. As things currently stand, Methuen falls short of the state requirement for 1 nurse for every 500 students, as noted in the laws that I can attach to emails I will send later. These conditions are not union negotiables, as some thought, but are required to be met from Methuen Public Schools to dispense medications in the school districts, delegate medications to teachers on trips, and provide EpiPen training in the public schools. This is given through the Mass Department of Public Health. The nurse's office, or as we call it, the health office, should better be thought of a clinic as we treat patients and we dispense medications. A clinic has to be licensed through the Massachusetts Department of Public Health to perform those tasks. We only barely managed to be granted licensure as we were able to count our health assistants as full-time health office staff. If any positions are cut, we will not be receiving licensing for the district, which will put many things at risk, including the storage and dispensing of ADHD meds such as Ritalin, since they are controlled substances, as well as field trips. Additionally, the needs of the students of Methuen are increasing, not decreasing. Last year at this time, we had seen about 50,238 visits. As of today, we've seen 60,653. This is an 18% increase over last year at the same time. The needs are greater. We have treated chronic medical conditions such as asthma, diabetes, and tube feedings, but we've also assessed, provided treatment, and transport out of multiple children in critical situations. These required transportation to local hospitals, but also transport in mud flight to Boston Children's Hospitals. These emergencies included conditions such as diabetic ketoacidosis, grand mal seizures, fractures, head injuries, and even partial amputations. Many of these required multiple days stay in ICU or surgery. However, due to the timely, skilled, and critical interventions performed by the nursing teams in our schools, these students all came home healthy and whole. A delay in care due to fewer nursing staff would put those students at risk. Forgive me, the pollen is high, so read the school newsletter about taking allergy medicine that I had Mr. Hill send home. But specific to nursing, we were informed that the health assistants are some of the positions that are to be eliminated. Excuse me, scrolled back. Our nursing team has also already been cut twice in the past few years. We no longer have a director, but instead a nurse at the high school that's taken on some of the responsibilities of the role, while also working her role as a first full-time high school nurse. We had one health assistant cut last year. We do have one float nurse, but given our numbers, we could easily use 2 more. Like other school staff, nurses get sick, their children get sick, or they need to take their personal days, and we do not have the coverage.
Just a 1-minute warning.
Thank you. If you recall, Methuen Public Schools ended up paying about $35,000 in overtime to nursing in 1 month 2 years ago when we told you not to cut staff, and you cut staff. I think we can all agree those funds are better spent on positions instead of overtime. So thank you and for your time and consideration.
Ben Thompson?
I learned to remember the name, read the name, who's it for you. I'm Ben Thompson, I live in Haverhill, but I have worked in the schools for 4 years now. Good evening, Mayor Beauregard, Methuen City Council, members and employees of Methuen. I am once again asking for our schools to be properly funded. I understand money is tight right now, but we can't function like this. The first round of budget cuts has already resulted in about 32 teachers currently working in the buildings being eliminated, which including a teacher in each grade level and from grades 1 through 8 each grammar school, special education teachers, specialist teachers, and school counselors. This is going to result in class sizes going up to 30 kids in the upper school grades. For larger caseloads and remaining special ed teachers, education teachers, and counselors, and students getting less individualized support. As Mayor Beauregard pointed out, we're not cutting from the fat, we are cutting from the bone, and stress he does not endorse this current budget, but must present a balanced budget. Even after these cuts, there's still a $4 million discrepancy between the budget the school committee passed and the budget that's before the city council tonight. If that gap is not filled, the result will be devastating. Result in additional 32 educators being lost, including classroom teachers, more special teachers, program assistants, medical assistants, bilingual parent liaisons, secretarial behavior, along with secretarial and behavioral support positions. In addition, several programs are at risk of being eliminated, including middle school band, elementary school STEM teachers, all clubs at every school, in-school suspension teacher at the high school, a substance abuse coordinator, more teacher leaders, and reading specialists. As we're trying, not only will this result in decreased quality of education for students, it will further damage teacher morale and make parents more hesitant to send their children to Methuen, further decreasing enrollment. This is not a new problem. Former school committee member and Inside Methuen publisher Dan Chappelli pointed out Methuen came in 199th out of the state's 251 municipalities in per pupil spending. 78% of Massachusetts school districts spend more on their students than Methuen, including Haverhill, Malden, Medford, Revere, Lynn, Lowell, and Lawrence, which is 89th. Those are all gateway cities. Those are not Andovers. A landmark study published by the National Bureau of Labor Statistics pointed out that a 10% increase in per pupil spending across all school years resulted in a 7% increase in wages and significant reduction in poverty among students who grew up in lower income households. which is even more than going about other students, meaning that this hurts the most vulnerable students. In the 2023 to 2024 school year, only 28% of Methuen students in grades 3 to 8 scored proficient or higher on the MCAS, far lower than in neighboring districts. As Dana points out, this is not a reflection of the hard work my teachers and I behind me and throughout the city do, but is a result of decades of financial neglect that does not meet the needs of our students, of whom 67% are high needs. The time to break the cycle is now, and to under schools now. That free cash is sitting there. There's $20 million of it. We can take that $4 million gap and use it to fund the schools and come back together over the next fiscal year to discuss real solutions. We do not need to wait for the state to bail us out. We can have. Thank you. Have a good night.
Sharon LaPlante.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharon LaPlante, 15 Partridge Road. I know this budget is bad for everyone throughout the city. I know every department has had serious cuts and made concessions for this next fiscal year. It's devastating and, quite frankly, disgusting as a taxpayer of this city. However, I say that in listening last night, many of you spoke about.
I need something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be right with you. Okay. However, many of you last night said you were willing to help. So I just want to kind of paint a picture for you. I am here tonight to advocate for all the staff of Methuen Public Schools. And it's also ironic that every school in the city tonight has events that are proposed to be cut in this budget. But as a general education teacher, I'm here tonight to show you how devastating the school budget actually is. Being a 4th grade teacher at the Marsh Grammar School since 2007, I've had class sizes of 26, 27 kids. We had 6 classes of that, actually. And the makeup of those students then is completely different than what it is now. About 7 to 10 years ago, at the Marsh, we were cut down from 6 to 5 teachers. And just last year, due to a budget crisis, we were cut down to 4 teachers, with current class sizes ranging from 23 to 26 students. Now, based on this current budget you have in front of you, 4th grade at the Marsh is being reduced from 4 teachers to 3, with projected numbers at the moment of 28.3 students. The situation is not just the Marsh, it's all grades, it's all areas, and it's all grammar schools across the district. This is what a classroom will look like next year. 29 students with varying legal needs, IEPs, 504s, ELL services, combinations of both. However, some of the labels you can't see that are affecting teaching are things like food insecurity, parents getting divorced, undiagnosed anxiety, depression, ADHD, unregulated behaviors, traumas at home. But now, I'm gonna put my teacher hat on for a minute. And let me tell you, to show you that the roles of teaching today have drastically changed. Besides actually teaching, planning what the curriculum is to teach, correcting and providing feedback for what it is, and communicating with parents, all the stuff we all knew about, that's what teachers did. Today, we're also tasked with being a classroom counselor, being a librarian, a triage nurse, a triage of technology, a data collector, and interpreting the data, an interventionist, a translator, a secretary, a parent to some, investigators of some situations, and I'm sure there's more that I just didn't get to think about at this time. All while having our phone rings to have students come to the office, doors constantly being knocked on because they're locked, constant interruptions, and constant reminders about how we're expecting kids to behave in the classroom. Our jobs as educators has changed dramatically, and we constantly are being asked to do more with less. It's like Groundhog Day, to be quite honest with you. I also say that because it's important to know that we're not Annie Sullivan. We're not miracle workers. We're human beings. We're doing what we can today that is almost unmanageable, and doing it with a classroom of size of 30 is going to be impossible. It won't be teaching, it will be managing. The class sizes alone situation is a safety concern. There's not enough space in these classrooms to have 30 plus kids. So please do everything you can to add a portion of that $20 million. It's not free money. It's the taxpayers' money that had been put back to this budget as a short-term fix, with the intention of all working together to come up with long-term viable solutions for the school and the city. Because
Just
if
a
you
1
don't,
minute warning.
our future won't have educators, custodians, secretaries, DPW workers, firefighters, police officers, city councilors, school committee members, capos, and mayors that the city actually deserves. Thank you.
Cara Blatt.
I really don't know what to say after that. That is just passion of what Methuen is all about. And that's also why tonight some people aren't even here, because we also need to celebrate the people at Central Catholic that are graduating, the people that are going to the proms, and the people we need to get to the finish line. And how are we going to get everybody to the finish line? And it's passion, it's commitment, and it's what we need from the city. And thank you. So everybody's going through this, other cities are going through this, but how do we fix it? Because literally, somebody shared this, and this was the same time last year, last night, the same date, the same caption. And we gotta fix the message. The voters and the residents need to know what it costs to run the city. Going to shell game just to try and make ends meet isn't helping the DPW who's gonna plow our streets. I'm not gonna get to school. We're gonna be in school until July because there's gonna be nobody. The police and the fire show up to our schools when somebody needs an ambulance. We need to be honest about what we're doing. It's not that somebody isn't that, but how do we build the trust back? So many things, no matter who we talk to, or you guys do your coffees, and the message is Methuen, how do we trust where the money's going or what it's going to? We gotta be honest with people, because they're not worried about, do I need to pay more or not for something? It is that it's gonna get where it belongs. And there's so many people on this council that I've talked to and got the pleasure to know, and school committee, and here, and through the mess of the insurance that everybody else is going to. There's so many amazing people. But the biggest theme is communication and trust, and how do we build it? There's got to be no more gotcha moments, no more Groundhog Days, and just be honest for what we really need to do to pay for the city. That's what I ask. Also, there's a parent, and if I go over, please let me know. It's just a parent that couldn't be here. She was a former colleague of ours who's just wonderful, and we lost her to another district because her position was cut. And year after year, nobody is doing anything illegal or malicious. It's that we're not being honest with what the budget cost. And then we'll say, okay, attrition, we'll get it. Well, no, we're not making up for it. And the mayor says, and this is a good thing, he's trying to get us more money. But just putting 3% over net school spending over the now is helpful, but it's not making up for the larger gaps of millions and millions of dollars that were lost over the years through whatever. But, sorry, a little bit off. She was writing to as a parent and as a former public school teacher in Methuen, and she's a school psychologist that we desperately need back. During the time in the school, she witnessed firsthand dramatic shifts in the students' needs and the incredible demands placed on educators and support staff. Deeply concerned, and proposed budget cuts, reductions in staff will further destabilize the system already stretched beyond capacity. The behavioral and social emotional needs and language acquisition learners that have significantly increased the demand on the schools, at the same time managing the impact of everything, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit to go a little bit on, is what just was said, is just stretching everybody too thin. Unfortunately, the issues are just too numerous, and it's impacting the on-time learning. Often she would think that if anybody really knew what was going on, would they be happy? Now, as a parent, she has witnessed it firsthand about what it affects the on-time learning of her son. Because of my professional background, I know how to ask what young children develop me as appropriate questions and what's happening in a classroom. What he described mirrored situations I had witnessed for years while working in the schools. To the district's credit, school staff and administration have worked collaboratively with us and generally cared about the students involved.
And just a 1 minute warning.
Yep, perfect. Our son's teacher, no matter how talented, cannot simultaneously teach a classroom, manage behavior, significant disruptions, preserve student safety, and meet the emotional needs of every child. It's not a criticism, but it's what we need to work on, and how can we get the intervention services and deal with what's going on. And she goes on, and I believe she emailed it to you, but I just wanted to highlight it, and it was Kate Ryan, who's an amazing school psychologist that we lost to another district. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that wishes to speak that didn't sign up on the sheet? Sure. And just state your name and, yeah, can someone?
My name is Helen Barrett, and I am a second grader at the Marsh Grammar School, and my address is 74 Drake Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. I am standing up today because I am upset that we might not have STEM next year and no clubs or band when I get to upper school. My brother is in 5th grade and plays the trombone. He says that if there is no upper school band, there probably also won't be a high school band. When my mom told me about the things that might change next year, it made me think of a tree. If you take away the leaves and the moss, it is still a tree, but it doesn't help people anymore. It is not soft or shady, and it is also less alive. When they took away the wellness special last year, it was like the tree lost its leaves, because that was where we learned about how to help someone that was being bullied and what to do if you feel really mad or sad at school. Clubs help us meet people who aren't in our class. They are another leaf. So are the extra teachers who help kids who need extra help. Except none of this is extra. It is really important because it is the reason school is a place that helps people. I am worried school will be a lot worse next year. I wish kids could vote. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that wishes to speak?
Okay, I don't know how to raise this up.
And just state your name and address too, for the record.
Barbara DiDio.
Sorry, let me stop the time.
My stage days ended a long time ago. Barbara DiDio, Methuen, Mass. I lived here 43 years. I live at 55 Pine Tree Drive. I recently moved out of this neighborhood about 3 years ago. My kids went to Methuen school system. My husband was born and raised here. I am so saddened to be here tonight. Actually, I'm heartbroken. I spoke probably 3 times in this building, one for Mr. Nick, and another time when there was school, we were going through school, built the CGS, and now tonight, it just breaks my heart that a community that I love, raised my family in, is falling apart. I have grandchildren in school here, and what I've seen and what I've observed with the community and what's going on, our fire department, our police department, we need these people. These teachers, last year I worked at the school opening the libraries that we closed during, I get emotional, sorry, COVID. And I was heartbroken. I can honestly tell you the filthiest faculty bathroom is at the Marsh. I can tell you that what I see these teachers go through and these kids go through on a daily basis just breaks my heart. I volunteered at Methuen School Systems for 12 years with my kids. Did we have issues? Yeah, we worked through them. I helped open the CGS. I worked full time and did that. I believe in my community. I've given to my community. We're falling apart. But you don't do it by taking away the resources that built this community. You've got to put the money together. And I came from the business world. I taught electronics. I worked 50 years. And to retire and see my community fall apart, we need to do our jobs better. And that means every department needs to be accountable for their budget. We threw away equipment just to buy it again after COVID. We did stupid things all the time, and each person needs to be accountable for it. And that means kids who are behavior problems, not learning problems, kids who chronically disrupt in what these teachers go through. And anybody that questions it needs to spend one day in one school and pick any one of them, because every single one of them, what you see breaks my heart. So you need to come up with the money and the funds to give our community what they need. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that'd like to speak?
Hi, my name is Deirdre DeRogers. I live at 4 Copley Drive in Methuen. I did not prepare a speech because the reality is I'm going to speak from the heart. I am a mother of 5 children, 9 and under. I have 3 that are of school age. And recently I was watching a school committee meeting from the comfort of my home. And I don't know this woman personally, but she lives in my neighborhood. She stepped up to the mic with a baby on her hip. And I could see myself in her because I am her. She bought her house, I think she said 2 years ago. She does not have school-age children yet, and her husband are considering moving. They just moved into our own neighborhood 2 years ago. My husband and I have been there for 4 years. Would you like to know what me and my husband discuss at night when our children are asleep? Moving. It's not because my husband got offered a fabulous job somewhere and we have to move. It's not because we would be moving closer to family because we need the support. The reason why we are considering moving is because of the lack of respect, care, consideration, and vulnerability of the schools here in Methuen. Sure, my husband does well, and we could send them to we could send them to private school if we wanted to. But here's the thing, we don't want to because we wouldn't want to stay in a city that doesn't take care of its schools and doesn't take care of the children within it. I'm asking you to consider the right thing and support the schools in a way in which this city has never seen. Because I stood here last year and it's the same, if not worse, this year. Thank you.
Dan Shabilia, 22 Review Ave. So I'm not here to tell you guys how horrible this is. There are people who have spoke before me and probably after me who have done it far more eloquently than I ever could. Some of you know well and good how this will play out. And then there are some of you who think this is just an annual scare tactic organized by the teachers and the superintendent. I think it's worth noting that the school unions have lack a few things that other unions get. They don't have stipends for uniforms and clothes. They don't have stipends for hazard pay and overtime. They don't have reimbursements for their licensures and the courses that go into it. They don't get support from the city or the school or the district to decorate classrooms and do all the things that need to be done before our kids show up in those rooms. The biggest one, unlike police and fire, which we've heard over the last few days, is they don't have mandatory staffing levels in their union contracts like they do. There's nothing in those documents to say, this is what we need to operate a safe building. We've already heard that we don't care about the nursing levels because we're 1 to 800 and something versus 1 to 500, which is what the state says. And I know from the work I did in the prior year with the school committee that we don't care about the staffing levels for the custodians because, as Member DeZoglio can attest, we just continue to cut them despite being told we need more per square footage based on every reliable source out there. So I hope that, Kara, Sue, and Max heard what I just said, because addressing this issue going forward, despite what we do here, raise fees, rezone, I think the quickest way to make sure Methuen starts paying attention to education is to put staffing limits in our union contracts for the schools. And that's something I hope that they start pushing for in the future. I heard an ooh, so maybe I hit a chord. So every year, the schools take the biggest hit. And it's the little girl who spoke here a little while ago, her friends and her classmates that take the hit. I understand why the mayor's budget looks like it does. It's not your fault. You are holding the bag for 30 years of neglect and mismanagement and failure and stagnation because Methuen desperately wants to hold on to this ridiculous idea that we are still a small town. We are an urban district. No matter how you slice it, this is an urban district. And we have not embraced it. We have done nothing to improve our situation. Some of you have been on this council for 6 months. Some of you for 2 years and 6 months. And some of you for far longer than that. You need to ask yourself, on June 15th, when these layoff notices go out to the teachers, that's when the clock starts running on unemployment. We're paying for it. Why would you want to come back here? Why wouldn't you ride out unemployment until September, line up a new teaching job in a different district that actually cares about education, and go there? Why would you want to be here when you get to come back and do this again next June? It doesn't make any sense. And even if they come back, what's the morale? What's the vibe in that room? How are we supposed to teach our kids how to manage money in the 2nd grade or count money when it's been made abundantly clear that historically Methuen can't do the same thing? So you guys didn't create this. Like I said, some of you have only been here for a couple of months, 2 years, but some of you have been here quite a while. So I want to urge you to take this opportunity. Let's give ourselves a loan. If we all think this money from the Senate is going to come in and we're going to be able to avoid the 75 layoffs, whatever they are, let's put our money where our mouth is. Mouth is? I didn't go to Methuen school, so maybe I should have tried that and gone there instead. Let's put the money where it needs to be. Let's give ourselves a loan, put it into the schools, reimburse ourselves when it comes back, so we can start to save face and show the community that we actually care. You guys haven't done much to help the schools over the years. Yes, you did free cash last year, but because you didn't have a choice. Let's do this, let's be proactive, and then let's start to do the small steps that we can to bring the money in for next year so we're not doing this again. Thank you.
Hi, Sarah Calla. I'm the person who texted almost all of you yesterday. I live in Methuen, 151 Hampshire Road. I moved here 25 years ago because at the time the school systems were really strong. I have about 4 years left in Methuen, and I will probably be moving. And my neighbors are talking about moving. We live on the west side, so it might not be everybody. And I think something that you might need to know is Kara Blatt is not from Methuen. She doesn't live here. She doesn't live here. She's worked to get our city council to talk to each other, our school committee to talk to each other, the different departments to talk to each other. Why can't we in Methuen come together and talk to each other? And Mr. Mayor, we have the free cash. I wouldn't vote for a 2.5 override because we have the money. And maybe it's a budgeting thing you have to explain to all of us, but it just doesn't make sense. One, why are we going to waste all the money? And I'm going to actually stop for a second. Methuen is so penny rich, pound poor. I've never seen anything like it. Never. We're going to pay all this money for unemployment that we could pay for teachers instead? Or policemen or DPW workers or firemen? This does not make fiscal sense. It does not make sense to waste money paying for things when we could instead use the money for people and that are going to help our children, that are going to help our schools, that are going to help our community. Our whole community is hurting. Like, my dad is at the community center. He talks about it. He talks about what's happening at the community center for the seniors. It's great. But he's also talking about how they're not as happy with you as they were anymore. They want you to help our community. They want our schools to be better. They have the kids come in from the high school, and they're asking us questions about Methuen and what they're going to do. And we don't have answers. We don't have the answers to say, you should stay here, guys. When there's nothing here for them, if we don't fix our schools, we don't take care of our fire, we don't take care of our DPW, if we don't take care of all the people in Methuen, this is a travesty that we're not going to use free cash and instead we're going to waste money on unemployment. I don't. Please explain it to me because I just don't get it.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak that didn't sign up?
I'm standing up here. I'm Nicole Costa. I am not a Methuen resident, and I don't want to say unfortunately. I wish I could say that I've met you guys under different circumstances than at these events, because I feel like I would love to say that I am working with you, might be able to work with you guys to solve these problems next year, rather than sit in these meetings. I am a Salem resident, and before that I was in Lowell, and I have never spent as much time in either of those locations as I do in Methuen events, in Methuen meetings, in Methuen City Council, and Methuen School Committee. And maybe I should be doing that too. But I have been here for about 10 years, and this is not new. It is worse, but it's not new. And we want to pave a better way, and we want to say that we have a future for these kids because they deserve it, and that's not what we're giving them. My fear is that we're going to say that we're going to hope and pray and wish for state aid, and that is not enough because, yes, this is a part of Massachusetts, but these are the Methuen public schools, and this is the Methuen City Council, and hoping that we can get things back with state aid that absolutely we need, that absolutely we hope is coming, is not enough. Because I know that we are trying to fight off 119 positions. I'm here to also say that 37 is not okay, because that still includes the class sizes. They're not going away. They're not going down. That's not it. My kids we've been practicing a word in our geology unit, and that word is catastrophe. And I want to let you know that the budget that we are fighting to get from the state at this point is still a catastrophe. That this is not going away if we get state aid, that is not enough. And I know that has saved people in the past. And I know that is something that has been banked on. And then that money goes into the money that we get from the state, takes city money out. And that is not okay. And that is not where that money needs to go. That is not what those kids deserve. Those kids deserve. The fourth grade students at the CGS were talking about having to write a letter of apology to the band teacher about a month ago because so many of them wanted to sign up that his class was going to be enormous. That is a problem that we want to have. Telling them that they cannot have band next year, that is not a solution. It's not appropriate, and it should not be happening. Do something for this city. Let us be a part of the solution going forwards, but this is where we are right now, and this is what we have to focus on right now. And yes, we do need long-term solutions. And yes, we do need more collaboration, because while I am not a Methuen resident, I've been here for the parades, I've been here for the events. I come here every day. I am here on the weekends. I'm here all the time, and I want to continue to come here. And I want the kids to continue to actually have these opportunities. So please, we are one not just one school district, we are one community. So please start acting like it. And I'm not saying that to any one of you, I am saying that to all of us. Everybody needs to start acting like we are one part of the solution. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Good evening, Lori Miko. I work at Branch Street. I'm going to read this anonymous for somebody that asked me to that wanted to remain anonymous. Our current FY26 capital improvement budget has an estimated budget of $200,000 for a new playground at Branch Street, as one currently does not exist at the preschool. There are currently inappropriate swings, a house with no roof, a small sandbox filled with rainwater, a broken trampoline, and rocks that surround the school building. As we know, accidents can happen in seconds. I know I don't want to be the parent that gets the phone call that my kid was hit in the head with stitches, with a rock, and now needs stitches. So we are more than halfway through May. When is Branch Street getting their new playground? When does that money, where does that money go that was allocated for this when it was not used? Are there any state requirements that our playgrounds need to meet? Our preschoolers deserve an age-appropriate playground, and we should be ashamed of the one that we have there. I challenge this committee to reconsider where cuts are being made and to prioritize the positions that directly impact students every single day. When the substance of the soup is gone, the loss is felt immediately. So that was from an anonymous person. And then my words. These proposed budget cuts are a direct hit to the students who need our support the most. Balancing the city's budget on the backs of our kids is entirely unfair. Our students, our future mayors, city councilors, police, fire, teachers, soldiers, and grocers are paying the ultimate price for a multitude of city failures that they did not create. We hear the statistic constantly. 70% of our students are not reading at grade level. But let's be completely honest about what got us here. The real failure started in the city council, where 100% of the professionals couldn't even read the contracts before them. This failure within the city council continues to this day. If our elected officials possess the adult, professional, and basic math and literacy skills required to do their jobs, we wouldn't be in this crisis. But we expect our students to possess these skills with even less supports to help them learn them. Our elected officials face absolutely no accountability for their negligence, failure to do their jobs, or unwillingness to want to acknowledge, address, and fix the issues that continually plague the city. Now, our students are carrying the weight of these oversights and adult failures. I am urging each of you, our elected officials who work for the citizens of this city, and that means the young and the old, sitting before all of us tonight, to step up and use your own adult and professional math, literacy, and critical thinking skills to protect our classrooms. Stand up for our children and be the heroes that they need right now. Thank you.
Anyone else that didn't sign up that would like to speak? All right. The only other thing, Madam Chair, that we'd like to add in for the record, I would just ask, there were some emails and letters received that we're not going to read in, but we'll add in for the record. They'll be put.
Thank you,
And
Madam.
thank you. That'll close public participation.
Thank you. I will take a motion to adjourn the public hearing from the body. Motion from Counselor Drew, seconded from Counselor Santos. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, thank you. It is now 7:19. We're closing public participation for the budget, and we'll open the budget hearing next. Thanks. Motion to adjourn. Yeah, we did that right now. We're adjourned. City of Methuen fiscal year 2027 city budget. Today's Thursday, May 21st, 2026. This is a special meeting for our municipal budget, and it is the first read. Madam Clerk, if you could take the roll.
Yes. Counselor Valley.
Present.
Counselor DeZoglio.
Present.
Counselor Drew.
Here.
Counselor McLaren.
Present.
Counselor Masson.
Here.
Counselor Pesh.
Present.
Counselor Santos.
Here.
Counselor Samad, he's absent, and Chair Soto.
Present.
One absent.
Thank you, Madam
You're welcome.
Clerk. Can I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented? Counselors, the agenda is what you're voting on this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor DeZoglio, seconded by Counselor Santos. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, Madam Clerk. I'm going to give the floor to the mayor before we start the first read, if that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, councilors, members of the public who are here with us. I want to begin tonight's meeting by sharing a few announcements with you regarding some recent developments. During a recent review of records related to a commercial property in the West End on Griffin Brook Drive, Tristan Hoare, our assessor, discovered that a newly constructed warehouse building at 600 Griffin Brook Drive had inadvertently not been added to the tax rolls by the assessor's office. The property had previously been inspected by the city's appraisal vendor, Patriot Properties, in early 2025, while construction was still underway. At that time, it was flagged for a follow-up inspection once construction progressed further. Due to a records issue involving paperwork connected to a nearby sister parcel at 501 Griffin Brook Drive, the follow-up inspection was unfortunately missed by the office. While reviewing the file, the assessor recognized that the office was not fully utilizing a program called Eagle View Explorer. Provides for aerial and drone imagery software already available to the city at no additional cost through the Merrimack Valley Assessing Consortium. Using that technology, Tristan identified that a large warehouse structure appeared complete on updated aerial imagery, but was not reflected anywhere on the property record card. The subsequent site visit this week confirmed that the building had been omitted from the assessment record and needed to be added immediately. Because the issue was identified before the close of the fiscal year certification window, the city was able to properly add the structure to the tax rolls in time. Updating the assessment added approximately $5.28 million in taxable value to the property. Under the current fiscal year 26 tax rate, that equates to roughly $100,000 in additional annual property tax revenue, and I have decided to add that to the budget for the Methuen Public Schools, which is reflected in your budget documentation tonight. Had the omission not been identified before the submission deadline, the city likely would have lost the ability to capture this value for the upcoming fiscal year. Tristan is actively looking for any more potential instances of this type of situation. Also, I want to share that per the budget that the Senate is proceeding with, we are projected at this time to receive a $253,000 increase in unrestricted general government aid. This is not currently accounted for on the revenue side of the budget. However, although this is going to be quite helpful to us, it is not 100% certain until the governor formally signs the budget into existence officially. And so this is not reflected in the current budget book. However, once the city does receive those funds, I will be decreasing the amount of furlough hours for city-side employees from 80 to 65. This is a further decrease. It was originally expected to be 106 hours needed to balance the budget, down to 80, and now with the $253,000 in additional UGA, as we call it, that's the commonly utilized acronym, we will be proceeding with that, of course, pending additional revenue, but we'll see. Lastly, I want to share that I will be coming to the City Council. We are likely going to need to arrange for a special meeting or two in June, just to settle up the fiscal year. We only have one regular meeting scheduled after tonight, and of course, measures require 2 reads. I will be coming to the City Council with a request to draw down the city's free cash to the tune of $2,013,255 to cover one-time special ed costs in fiscal year 26 and fiscal year 27, which will allow the school department to experience roughly $2 million in relief by freeing up circuit breaker funds that will be rolling over into 27, which will, in all likelihood, if we were to add in the numbers that we're expecting from the state by way of increased Chapter 70 funds and increased special ed circuit breaker funds through the Senate budget, would allow the school department to meet the $118 million number, in all likelihood, that the school committee had adopted, bringing the number of layoffs in the schools down significantly from what is currently projected with this lower 114 number. So those are the 3 announcements that I wanted to share. Just to provide some context, we have updated appropriation orders for you tonight, updated school department budget sheet for you, and with that, I'll invite the council to begin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for bringing some good news this evening. Before we start, I wanted to commend your office, Mr. Mayor, and the CAFO for diligently working on this budget. It is a hard budget season, and I think I was very impressed personally the way that office handled the budget. So let's begin the work. If I may, I'm going to read the order, and we'll start our votes. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, an order concerning appropriations for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026. The following sums designates as personal services, other expenses, equipment outlay, intergovernmental fuel, snow reserve, other financing sources, uses, and debt service are hereby appropriated separately for each department in the general fund and water and sewer enterprise fund of the city of Methuen. General Fund 01, I'm going to start with the City Council Department. So I'm going to start line by line. Can I get a motion to approve City Council budget line item $271,791,000? I need a motion. Yeah. It's your normal motion, second, discussion, then you vote on the number. I know we're new,
So moved.
So I have a motion from Councilor Pesh. I have a second from Councilor Santos. You're in discussion, Council. And this is for your office, the City Council. Councilor Marsan.
I'll be Councilor Drew on this one.
All right, go ahead.
I'd like to propose a $20,000 cut to our line item out of personal services.
I have a motion on the floor to make a cut for $20,000 on personnel services. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are you doing a second?
Second.
Motion from Councilor Marsan, seconded by Councilor Drew. All those in favor? You want, I'm sorry? Discussion.
I just want to caution you that unlike the mayor, you're going to need to specify as a body where that's going to come out of, because there's no one else to specify where that comes from. So when you vote on your own budget, you're going to need to, so are you saying you should discuss what that is so that we know how to implement
So I have
that?
a first and a second. I'll open that discussion. Where do you want to cut that $20,000 from, Councilor?
We have the two $10,000 line items. That's where I'd like to make the cuts.
Can you read those out for me, Counselor?
I will, yes. One second. I guess I was hoping we were starting with the city clerk.
Actually, give me the one with the pages. Yeah, okay. Counselor, that's page 28.
Correct, 28?
20.
20.
20.
I was on 28.
Okay, 20. Yeah. Thank you.
So we have the $10,000 from overtime is one line item. And the $10,000 from the clerk two. Clerk two?
Clerk 2. So you're doing a reduction on the assistant clerk and,
He said clerk 2.
Clerk 2.
That line item has 0.
I have Counselor Pesh with a question. That line item has 0.
For clerk 2, it looks like
Right, right now that is a line item of 57 and some change, and it goes up to 68 and some change.
Yeah, I need to give the CAF the floor for clarification.
So I believe the
Assistant
line
clerk.
that you're talking about is the assistant council clerk.
Assistant council clerk, yes,
That's
sorry.
at 66,215, so that would reduce by 10. And then the overtime line is the other 10, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we have, we're still in discussion. Any other? None? Counselor DiZoglio.
So I was just one point of clarification. Overtime, that's for them to sit here. So we just gotta be cautious when we cut that. We're gonna be taking our own notes too, and all this other stuff too on top of it. So if we're gonna cut overtime, we're just gonna be prepared for that. Correct?
Just to provide some operational guidance, perhaps,
Yeah,
in terms of how I think it's generally smart to deal with any reductions in overtime. There's a concept that we refer to as flexing, where, let's say, hypothetically, a meeting will run until, 10 o'clock at night, and that's an added 4 hours or whatever it is, right? Then you could ask your employees to come in perhaps 4 hours after normal start time the next day, or take the Friday or something like that. So that's the way you can manage overtime through flexing.
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? Clarification?
I would just suggest if you're not taking the full 20 from the same items, that you take separate vote on each item. 2 separate items.
You just made that real messy because his motion said 20, so I gotta backtrack. I need you to remove that from the table in your second.
I'll withdraw the motion.
Second.
Thank you. All right. Back to City Council total personnel services for 271,791.
I'd like to make a motion to cut 10,000 out of overtime.
Motion on the floor by Councilor Marsan to cut $10,000 from overtime.
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Drew. I'm going to take a roll call on that, please, because it got messy.
Council Ballard.
Just for clarification, is to cut only 10,000 of overtime? Yes.
Councilor DiZoglio.
Yes.
Councilor Drew.
Yes.
Councilor McLaren.
Yes.
Councilor Marsan.
Yes.
Councilor Pesh.
Yes.
Councilor Santos.
Yes.
Councilor Smart. Chair Soto, I'm sorry.
Yes.
8 yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
Any other changes?
I'd like to make a motion to cut. I know you wanted to go deep, but I'm thinking 6,500 out of the assistant council clerk line.
I have a motion on the floor for $6,500 reduction from the assistant city clerk.
Second.
There's a second by Counselor Marsan. Discussion. No discussion? I'm going to take a roll call on that.
Counselor Valley,
No.
Counselor DeZoglio,
No.
Counselor Drew,
Yes.
Counselor McLaren,
No.
Counselor Marsan,
Yes.
Counselor Pesh,
No.
Counselor Santos,
No.
Counselor Samad, and Chair Soto.
No.
You have 2 yes, 6 no.
Motion fails.
Madam Chair.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yes, never mind. That was right.
Counselor Valley.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to cut 4,500, which is 1,500 for training and 3,000 for the youth summer program.
So you're on my next line item. Let me read it. Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah. Can I get a motion to approve $9,700 on other expenses?
Madam Chair, don't we need to close out that line before we move on to the next one? Agree to the line item
Okay,
with the
that's
full
true.
value?
True, sorry. Can I get that new number?
Sure, it's
Madam Taffa?
Yep, $261,790.74.
Okay. I need a motion to approve $261,790.
So moved.
Motion from Counselor Valley, seconded by Counselor Santos. I'm going to take a roll call.
Counselor Valley,
Yes.
Counselor DeZoglio,
Yes.
Counselor Drew,
Yes.
Counselor McLaren,
Yes.
Counselor Marsan,
Yes.
Counselor Pesh,
Yes.
Counselor Santos,
Yes.
Counselor Samad Sampson, and Chair Soto.
Yes.
8 yes, unanimous.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next line item, total other expenses. Motion to approve $9,700.
So moved.
Motion from Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion. Counselor Valley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to make a motion to cut 4,500, which is 1,500 for training and 3,000 for the youth summer program.
There's a motion to, we're doing
Point of order, single line.
one at a time.
One at a time?
Was my correction.
Okay, so 1,500
From training.
from training, correct.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Valley, seconded by Counselor Drew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So the second motion to cut 3,000 for the youth summer program.
I have a motion on the table by Counselor Valley to cut $3,000 from other expenses. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Counselor Drew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm a no on that. Oh, I'm sorry, discussion.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. I understand cutting the $3,000, but also for a high schooler, having the opportunity to be able to work in government is something they can put on a college resume, an application for a job. And I remember that I didn't get that many opportunities growing up. Luckily, I knew people to give me those opportunities. So to cut it, I don't know if we could do half so they can have like like a month or two instead of the whole summer. I don't know what we could do, because giving them the opportunity just to kind of be around us for a little bit and doing stuff. I know, but I don't know. I don't feel good at doing that to a high schooler.
So I'm gonna, if there's no further discussion, I think Counselor McLaren, sorry, you want to go ahead.
I kind of wanted to echo those statements. I mean, there are very few opportunities for high schoolers to engage with government. Speaking as somebody who went into government and was recently in high school, and I think when we're in a place where, don't laugh, we're at a place where we're facing a very devastating budget for our schools. We're looking at closing a lot of programs that none of us want to do to our young people, and so I don't feel compelled to take away yet another thing for those that are interested. I think we should probably leave that door open.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Drew.
I agree with both of you. It would be great to see young people be able to come and be in this building and get involved and be part of government. I think that's something that is extremely helpful. My problem with it is this is a line item that has not been in this budget historically. This is something new. We've never done it. And in a year where we're asking people to do, as we do, seems like every year, do more with less, I don't know how well I feel about taking $3,000 out of another line item where we've cut other things going down. I just feel like this year is not the year to implement that. If there is a child or anybody who wants to be involved in government and really wants to just kind of eager to come do this, we're happy for volunteers, obviously, but to say we're going to add $3,000 to a budget line item that we've never seen before, I just don't think that's the right move.
Counselor Santos.
So I'm going to take the middle side here. So I do agree that $3,000 since like a lot in a time that we have to cut in so many areas, but leaving half, it'll be an incentive for anyone that wants to participate in working in the government.
Any other? I'm going to pass the gavel, if that's okay. Sure. Thank you, Madam Vice. So this initiative is something that came from the mayor's office and the school committee, and we just had a group of parents, teachers, and supporters state how, they'd like this body to support their youth. And I understand you just cut $10,000 in overtime, so that's going to happen here. That kind of puts you at the percentage point where, based on our number of budget compared to the others, we're hitting those percentage marks. But I don't feel $3,000 is going to give anybody else their job or it's going to break the bank. I think it's going to offer an opportunity for youth to come into this environment and decide if it's an environment that potentially they'd like to continue. I just came from an entire day of leadership programming, and the number one conversation in the room with community leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers was the need for mentors and bringing in the mentees for opportunities. And I think that if we take this away, we're basically saying to those that just were in front of us, we're not supporting you, because that is the same people we're shutting the door to, the ones they were advocating for. So that's just my vote. I'm a yes for the youth and anything they bring in front of me. I do it with sports, and I'm going to do it in support for their growth. So I just wanted to share that with the body.
Madam Chair.
Can I take it back? Sure. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Councilor Valley.
Yeah, it is my understanding that other departments are participating in this initiative, but I haven't seen any line with a value, like only the council. I do support the youth, but why are we the one paying the stipend, and I don't know how you call it, if other departments are participating in the same initiative?
So that stipend was put in there by myself as the chair of the council to, what's the word I'm looking for? Provide some incentive for the youth to actually want to participate. I don't think, and I'll let the mayor talk after me, but I know that they're also connecting them to opportunities. But I felt if they were going to come into this building, they're just not going to show up to sit in the office with our clerks and see us here and there. You will be able to interact with the youth and assign projects to them and give them constituent forward-facing assignments that they can help you with on your day-to-day. But I'll give the mayor the floor so he can talk more.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to clarify one thing. So typically our youth summer jobs are typically DPW functions, and so there's a line item for temporary help in the DPW budget, and that's typically how we compensate youth summer employment traditionally, just to provide that context.
So just for clarification, you stated that there's compensation for the other departments, DPW, for instance.
Yeah, for lifeguards and for students who are hired to help with environmental management tasks and the like. That's funded out of DPW.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? Councilor Drew.
My issue with this is I'm asking our council clerks to take furloughs. Our assistant council clerk is going to take a furlough of $2,500. We're going to pay somebody to come in there and work with her, and we're going to pay them $3,000. On a line item we've never done this historically. I understand and I believe it is a great program, and I'd love to see it implemented. I just don't know if this year is the year when we're asking people of this city, our employees in this city, to take a cut, to just add something in. That's just where I stand.
Councilor Pash.
Thanks. I'm with Councilor Drew on this one, and obviously I support the youth. I think it's a great opportunity, especially I know they did it. They do something similar in the school committee where they'll have like a student council rep come and sit. It is different in my mind than some of the other internships that we have through the city, in that we're not going to be, it's a mutual experience, I feel, someone participating with our council. While we might allocate work to them, they're not providing work for us. We're sharing the experience of learning with them, which in my mind is compensation. I know in my private life, we've had internships at my law office, which go unpaid, particularly for the younger students, because they're gaining experience. And it's something they can put on their resume. It's something they can use. So it's still helpful even without the stipend. My only question is to Councilor Soto, how many, when you put this together, how many students were you allocating for? Just one?
So this is for one student the entire summer. So it's 3 months. It would start once the...
So I will add one more thing. I do think that, again, I would rather see this as a volunteer opportunity. I'm in agreement with Councilor Drew. We haven't had this in the past, and while if the funds were flowing, I would be happy to adopt it and happy to compensate this student adequately. I do think the experience that they learn is somewhat of a compensation, even though it's not necessarily monetary.
Any, Councilor McLaren.
I just want to caution for context. I know a lot of people who've sought internships both in high school and in college, and I know a lot of people particularly who are of a lower household income who have sought internship opportunities, and often the biggest barrier to those people to being able to take internships is because they have to make money for their family, for themselves, for their education, whatever it may be. And so given the fact that the vast majority of internship opportunities are unpaid, an opportunity like this would be not equitably afforded to all high schoolers if we didn't offer compensation. I totally see the argument of the other side completely. But I don't want to see students that come from an underprivileged background not apply for this, because should they get it, those hours are taking away from hours that they really need to be working to make money, if that makes sense. So I think that the compensation in that way is pivotal in making sure that this is an accessible opportunity to all students.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I completely, I don't want to get involved. This is the City Council's budget, but just to share, I guess, a personal anecdote to kind of echo what Councilor McLaren has said, just a personal story. So my very first, I guess, governmental activity, and Linda remembers this well, was when I was an intern in the office of former Mayor Bill Manzi, and I wasn't compensated during the school year, but during the summer, I did receive a small stipend to provide intern services in the mayor's office. So just an interesting, I guess, lead into that idea of providing young people with the opportunity to get government experience. So not taking sides, either way, I completely understand and agree. I can see both sides, but just wanted to share the personal anecdote.
So look at you now, where that brought you. Councilor Patch.
Sorry, how many hours did we factor in, and what would be is it an hourly rate?
So that's going to be after, if it passes.
Yeah.
And all that would be discussed with HR and the CAFO and the clerks.
To piggyback off what the mayor said, my first experience in government was at the State House when someone would, that is our auditor, was our state rep. I did not get compensated at all. And I would take a train to Boston at least 3 days a week to go and get the experience at the State House. So for us I wish they gave us a stipend because I would have probably worked more hours there. But unfortunately, I didn't get that because I had to work. So to provide a small stipend for our kids to feel also the appreciation of getting that work and pay and working in government, and they can kind of see how we experience without pay, I think that will also bring them to that incentive to come here. I feel like if we just make this free, we won't have any internships because kids are going out nowadays and working. So I know we could split it.
If there's no further discussion, I'll take a roll call on the $3,000 reduction, taking it away.
Counselor Valley.
Yes.
Counselor DeZoglio.
No.
Counselor Drew.
Yes.
Counselor McLaren.
No.
Counselor Marsan.
No.
Counselor Pesh.
Yes.
Counselor Santos.
No.
Counselor Samad and Chair Soto.
No.
4 no, 4 yes. I'm sorry. 5 no.
5 no for,
3 yes.
so motion carries. It fails. Thank you.
Correct.
On to the next item. So what's that total, Madam Catherine?
I got more.
Okay.
We'll try to,
Yeah.
I don't think these will be as controversial. Let's start with, I want to make a motion to remove $1,200 from personal services. Professional services, I apologize. My glasses were a little fogged.
Motion to reduce professional services? Personal services?
Professional.
So we're,
1,200. It's in the breakdown.
I don't have it here. I only have 2. Okay,
It's on the line item one that we,
okay, thank you.
unlike what we're going to do later, you guys have to go by your line items.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we
that's-
won't know where you're cutting
That's the
from.
difference. This one's a little confusing for me because I have to go, because it's our own department. So it's $1,200. I have a motion from Counselor
I
Drew,
second it.
seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion.
This point of information. So what exactly does that cover? Any training?
The $1,200.
Yeah.
It's this one.
Sorry, because I don't have that.
So it wasn't.
Correct. So that covers trainings that you would take as a council, like the paid trainings, like the MMA summits, any special trainings for municipal budgets, procurement. If you don't use it, it goes back to the general fund. If you use it, then you would get reimbursed through the CAFO. Any other discussion?
I feel that we shouldn't remove this from our budget just because we need to be informed and get educated about what we're doing. And if the funds are there, they should remain in the budget. If they're not used, they can just go back to the general funds. But I feel that we should keep it just in case.
Any further discussion?
Again, this is an item that last year we had $0 in. We added $1,200. This isn't the year to add more money. I understand we want trainings, things like that. MMA offers all sorts of free webinars that we are all entitled to, completely free.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll take a roll call.
Council Valley,
No.
Councilor DeZoglio,
Yes.
Councilor Drew,
Yes.
Councilor McLaren,
Yes.
Councilor Marsan,
Yes.
Councilor Pesh,
Yes.
Councilor Santos,
No.
Councilor Samad, and Chair Soto.
No.
5 yes, 3 no.
Motion carries. Any other motion?
Thanks. I'd like to make a motion to cut $1,000 out of office supplies.
I have a motion on the floor to cut $1,000 from office supplies.
Second.
Second by Counselor Drew. Discussion. Counselor DeZoglio.
I'm concerned about cutting that because our office, they do a lot with paper, ink, all that stuff. Where for our packets, I think what we would need to do before we cut this item, one suggestion that was provided to me that some people might not want packets. So maybe we should do like an opt-out to that to save money on paper if people don't want packets delivered to them and they would like to just read it offline to save paper. Because I don't know the whole budget, but I'm pretty sure with all the packets that I've experienced so far, we spend a lot of money on paper in the office. So I would think the breakdown before we start cutting that, we should look at where we can save before we cut it.
Counselor Drew.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for reference, last year to date, when I had my information that I got from the CAFO, we had spent to date $1,400 in office supplies. So we're trending, we might have a couple of dollars over the $1,500 that was originally allocated last year. I don't see us using a whole heck of a lot more. So I'm in favor of making the $1,000 cut.
I'm gonna pass this over. That number for office supply, Counselor, adds I mentioned in our workshop that there is an addition of a machine to timestamp our agendas, that one exists at the solicitor's office and one at the clerk's office. And so if we had to get our agenda stamped, it could be done right from our office. So if you, and that's from the clerk's research, that's about $500. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If you feel we could do without it, then by all means. I'll take this back. Counselor Valley.
Do you know, Madam Chair, what is the cost of the machine?
$500.
Oh, 500? Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? I'll take a roll call on the $1,000 reduction.
Councilor Valley,
No.
Councilor DeZoglio,
No.
Councilor Drew,
Yes.
Councilor McLaren,
Yes.
Councilor Marsan,
No.
Councilor Pesh,
Yes.
Councilor Santos,
No.
Councilor Samad, and Chair Soto.
No.
5 no, 3 yes.
I'd like to make a motion to remove $500 from, what was it? Office supplies.
So moved.
So it would cover the
Motion to
cost of the
remove $500 from office supplies by Counselor Pesh, seconded by Counselor Drew. Discussion.
If we reduce the 500, we could still get the machine that would help in our office. We could still be able to get that and,
The clerk says she would think so.
okay.
Any further discussion? You may not be able to get cards, but you'll get the.
Anyway.
I'll take a roll call if there's no further discussion.
Councilor Valley,
No.
Councilor DeZoglio,
Yes.
Counselor Drew,
Yes.
Counselor McLaren,
Yes.
Counselor Masan, Counselor Pesh,
Yes.
Counselor Santos,
No.
Counselor Samad, and Chair Soto.
No.
5 yes, 3 no.
Motion carries. Counselor Drew.
I'd like to make a motion to cut $500 from legal advertising.
From what?
Second.
Motion on the floor by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh to cut legal advertising. Counselor DeZoglio.
Point of information, was this, I think the solicitor mentioned this to me, yes, this was for the newsletters that, was this the line item that the newsletters to give us advertising from the news?
I believe this line item is just for public hearing notices and notices of the budget hearings. So that's it.
Oh,
Counselor Drew.
Just a point of information, last year, as I got the information from the budget, to date, at that time, we used $626.50. So I don't think this is an outrageous cut.
Any other discussion? Counselor Valley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would say that we need to take into consideration the inflation and prices went up and everything nowadays. So what if we get to the position that we got it and then we need the funds? What do we do in that situation? Maybe Madam Caffo, you can tell me, please.
Yep, so with any line in the budget, if there's not enough funds, you would need to either take it from somewhere else within your budget, another budget line that has a surplus, or come to myself and we can look to see if there's another line in another budget that we could come to council and transfer.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing no further discussion, I'll take a roll call, Madam Clerk.
Counselor Valley,
No.
Counselor DeZoglio,
yes.
Counselor Drew,
Yes.
Counselor McLaren,
Yes.
Counselor Masan,
No.
Counselor Pesh,
Yes.
Counselor Santos,
No.
Counselor Samad, and Chair Soto.
No.
4 to 4.
That fails. Any other motions? What's our total, Madam Caffa?
What's the 6,500.
I'm sorry?
6,500.
6,500. I need a motion to approve $6,500 for total other expenses.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. Should I do, no further discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I was suggested by my solicitor I don't have to vote on that total number.
Suggested.
You don't have to vote, but if you wish to vote on the total, you can.
Oh, yeah, I could tell you. 268,291.
And 90?
91. Yes, I'm rounding. I'm going to round
You're
these
gonna round?
numbers because
All right, one down. The next item on the agenda, it is the mayor's total personal services. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Did you?
No. I said aye, but I heard silence, so you might want to do a roll call vote.
Okay. Can I get a roll call on total personal services?
Counselor Valley,
Yes.
Counselor DeZoglio,
Yes.
Counselor Drew,
Yes.
Counselor McLaren,
Yes.
Counselor Masan, Counselor Pesh, Counselor Santos,
Yes.
Counselor Samad, Chair Soto.
Yes.
Unanimous, Chair.
Perfect, thank you. Total other expenses, I need a motion to approve $18,000.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by
Second.
Counselor Santos. Discussion.
I have a question for the mayor, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Through you. We have 2 line items for food and related items, but this one has a CF. Can you please clarify? CF?
CF refers to carry forward, but that's not an active budget line. So that may have been reflected in a prior year. For instance, if you go back to fiscal year 25, there is a number there referencing the carry forward from a prior fiscal year, but it's not active in fiscal year 25.
So it can be cut if it's not active.
So if I could
Can you
just-
explain that to
Yeah,
me?
if I could
How
really
is that
quickly.
not-
So at the end of every fiscal year, there are some expenses, it's literally a timing thing. So we may have expensed it in the current fiscal year, but we don't actually pay the bill until the next fiscal year. So we have to carry it forward. It's not actually part of the budget that we're so there shouldn't be anything. The line is there for carry forward, but that's really to show you the past lines, the history. There's no actual current budget for any carry forward numbers in the one that you're voting on right now. So CF stands for carry forward because in your actuals column, you'll see some of those, and we want to show you so that you have a total of what the department expenses are in the past. But when you come to the budget, those are not budgeted items.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion?
So eventually those 2 lines will just fall off.
So when you're looking at the actuals, you'll see that it's carried forward from a prior year. And if yes, your answer, if they don't spend it in that actual year, like if it's carried over and they're not spent, it falls to free cash.
Okay. Any further discussion, or I'm going to a vote? Total other expenses under the mayor's office for $18,000. Motion
Second.
to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. That total remains the same, right, Madam Caffo? Okay, thank you. $320,959. Next, legal services. Total personnel services, $500,762. Motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Santos, second by Counselor DeZoglio. Discussion. Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Total other expenses, $116,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor DeZoglio. Discussion. Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, Madam Clerk, unanimous. That total, Madam Caffo, 616,762. Thank you. Next, City Clerk's Office, total personnel services, $385,892. Motion to approve. Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Marsan. Discussion. Counselor Drew.
I'd like to make a cut of $20,000. We don't have to go line by line on this, right?
Correct. So, yes.
We don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're in
don't-
personnel
do not have-
services. I'm sorry. This was the wrong one.
Yeah.
My apologies. Rescinding that.
Okay. So I'm in discussion under total personnel services for the city clerk. Seeing none, I'll go to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
I'm going to take a roll call.
Counselor Valley,
Yes.
Counselor DeZoglio,
No.
Counselor Drew,
Yes.
Counselor McLaren,
Yes.
Counselor Marsan,
No.
Counselor Pesh,
Yes.
Counselor Santos,
Yes.
Counselor Samad, and Chair Soto.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 no.
Motion carries. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Total other expenses, $196,155. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Counselor Valley, then Counselor Drew.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to cut 60,000, and that is for election services. I believe the city can maybe have one centralized voting place and can save the cost of some of the staff by having different polls.
So you're making a recommendation to the mayor, because even if it's approved, he would decide what happens with those 60,000, correct? So that's a recommendation from you?
That's a recommendation to the
That's why she's
mayor.
cutting it.
Correct, yes.
And the mayor would like to respond to that recommendation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to provide some clarity regarding the election budget, when it comes to some of the different lines that are accounted for within this one line, when it comes to the election services budget. So 40,000 is in the budget to cover payroll for election workers. We have 2 elections this year, one in September, one in November. We have 17 precincts to cover across the city. There's $50,000 in early voting payroll. That covers 3 weeks of early voting at the police station. There's $10,000 in vote by mail payroll. Postcards start going out in June to all registered voters regarding that. Relative to advanced processing payroll, $15,000. There's $2,000 accounted for other expenses, food for poll workers, rental of U-Haul vehicles to transport equipment and the like. And we referenced, I think, during the workshops, the expenditure relative to LHS. This is a service that is used by city clerks throughout the Merrimack Valley, not really any cheaper option that the clerk's been able to identify at this point, and that's $37,000 to cover the poll pad, image cast, maintenance and software, et cetera. So I just wanted to share that. In terms of the idea of trying to go from 4 polling locations perhaps to 1, the one thing that I'll caution is that with the change in ownership of the Park Garden Apartments on Burnham Road, that had been for many, many years used as the polling location for precincts 4 and 5. And around, I think, the time of the pandemic, the apartment complex changed hands regarding ownership, and the polling location was moved to the Methuen Senior Center. And even now, it's something where residents, they get in the habit of going to a certain location to vote. When we had the re-precincting back in 2020 after the census, there was quite a bit of confusion regarding that. And even though the city would send a mass communication to voters letting them know that they have a new polling location, just that habit of going to vote in a certain location caused some issues. And so just a word of caution that if we were to try to have a change for everybody across the city in terms of their polling location, we could have some logistical challenges, especially for folks who are just in the habit of going to vote in a particular location. So just wanted to share that for background. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Counselor Pesh.
Thanks. So I understand where Councilor Valley is doing this. I think, and I know Councilor Drew at the budget workshop had the exact numbers for the last 10 years of election services, and it never tipped over, correct me if I'm wrong, 75, 80,000? So 88,000 was the most, including special elections, state elections, whatever it was that year going on. So I would be in favor of a smaller reduction, or at least a smaller reduction in the hopes that they would reduce this particular line item with whatever amount we approve. But I think while it's, I understand where she's coming from, I think the 60 is going to be very tight for the department. I don't feel comfortable going below where we've been in the past. Thanks.
Counselor Jazagdale.
Yes, I'm just concerned because I think it was last year someone cut a line item because they didn't think it was going to be a primary, and I just feel, and that was only $10,000. I just feel cutting $60,000. it's a risk of us coming back here and asking for money in the long run. So I'm strongly against taking it from this line item.
Just for the record and for clarity, who was that counselor?
That was Councilor DeZoglio, not me. Oh, now currently committee member DeZoglio.
Councilor McLaren.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to add to the mayor's concerns about going to one polling location. We historically have some very low voter turnout, and I think we all agree that we want to see it improve and grow. And if we're dwindling our resources to one polling place and not then also having more employees to work that polling place, our wait time to vote is going to be astronomical. And for working people who can't afford to stand in line for 1 or 2 hours to vote, that's only going to diminish our voter turnout even more. So I just don't see that working out.
Any further discussion? Councilor Bauer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have seen that in other locations. That is the reason, in other cities. That is the reason why I brought that up today. Like North Andover, they all go to the high school. And I know there's still some constituents confused, but I think we, as politicians, make enough phone calls, send mailers, send letters, knock on doors, so we can inform the community and the city if the administration decides to do that.
Any further discussion? If not, we'll take a roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilor Valley.
Yes.
Councilor DeZoglio.
No.
Councilor Drew.
No.
Councilor McLaren.
No.
Councilor Marsan.
No.
Councilor Pesh.
No.
Councilor Santos.
Yes.
Councilor Smart and Chair Soto.
No.
6 no, 2 yes.
So that motion fails. Councilor Drew.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make a motion to cut $20,000 from this line.
Motion from Councilor Drew to cut $20,000 from other expenses. Seconded by Councilor Pesh. There's no further discussion on, because I'm assuming it's for the same reason. I can move on to the vote. Would you prefer a roll call? I'll take a roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilor Valley.
Yes.
Councilor DeZoglio.
No.
Councilor Drew.
Yes.
Councilor McLaren.
Yes.
Councilor Marsan.
No.
Councilor Pesh.
Yes.
Councilor Santos.
Yes.
Councilor Smart and Chair Soto.
No.
4, I'm sorry. 5
3.
yes, 3 no.
Motion carries. Moving on to, so what's that new number, Madam Caffo? Sorry.
176,155.
Thank you.
And what's it? Can we get the total?
176,155.
The total for the whole.
And the
Oh, the
total.
total is, 562,047.
Thank you for that, Councilor Marsan. Okay. Reserve fund. Oh, that's 0. So should I vote on that total line item?
Did you vote on total expenses?
No, I have to motion the total expenses. My question is, at the bottom of the line, do you want me to vote on that? No, okay. Okay. I need a motion to approve the total expenses for $176,155. So moved. Motion by Councilor Santos. Seconded by Councilor Pesh. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Moving on. Chief Administrative and Financial Officer. This is the CAFO's line item. Motion to approve $196,867,000.
So moved.
Motion by Councilor Drew.
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Santos. Discussion. Seeing none, I'm going to, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Total other expenses, $10,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor DiZoglio. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Unanimous. Total remains at $206,867. Accounting, total personnel services, $575,257. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk, that passes. Total other expenses, $205,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. I'm in discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Motion carries. Total remains at $780,257. Assessing, total personnel services, $270,292. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Drew. Discussion. Counselor Drew.
I'd like to make a motion to cut $1,000.
How much, Counselor?
$1,000.
Motion to approve $1,000 from total personnel services under the assessing office. Second by Counselor Pesh. Discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Roll
Did you
call,
have-
please.
I have
Roll
a
call.
question.
Madam Clerk.
Appraiser, the position of appraiser. Point of information, I just want to know what is that?
Could you speak into your mic, Counselor, please? Thank you.
Point of information, I would like to know what is the appraiser position?
That's the assessor.
The assessor's office.
I'm sorry?
That's the assessor, the
Oh.
city assessor.
Thank you.
Chief Assessor. That's his title.
Chief assessor.
Yes, thank you. So I have the motion on the floor. It's been seconded. I've got a roll call requested on that, Madam Clerk.
Counselor
It's for
Valley.
1,000.
No.
Counselor DiZoglio.
Yes.
Counselor Drew.
Yes.
Counselor McLaren.
Yes.
Counselor Masson.
No.
Counselor Pesh. Counselor Santos.
No.
And Chair Soto.
Yes,
5 yes, 3 no.
motion carries. Total other expenses, $114,580. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I need to go back to total personal services, guys, sorry, because we made the reduction of 1,000. What's the new number, Madam Capo?
269,292.
I need a motion to approve the total of 269,290.
292.
92.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you. Total other expenses, $114,580. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor DiZoglio. I'm in discussion. Counselor Drew.
Motion to remove $1,000.
Motion to remove $1,000 from the total other expenses. Discussion. I need a second on that.
Second.
Second, I'm in discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
I have one no. Are you a yes or a no? Counselor. 2 noes.
Roll call, please.
We'll do a roll call.
Counselor Valley.
No.
Counselor DiZoglio.
Yes.
Counselor Drew.
Yes.
Counselor McLaren.
Yes.
Counselor Masan.
No.
Counselor Pesh.
Yes.
Counselor Santos.
Yes.
Counselor Smart. Chair Soto.
Yes.
6 yes, 2 no.
So, total other expenses for a total of, Madam Capo? The 113,580?
Yes.
And the total for the department is $382,872.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve the 113,580.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, unanimous. Next item, treasurer, tax collector, total personal service, 404,381. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor McLaren. Any discussion on the, yes, sir?
I'd like to make a motion to remove $1,000.
Motion to remove $1,000 from total personnel services. I need a second on that to make that valid.
Second.
Second by Counselor Valley. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, so that motion carries. So we're at Madam Caffo. Counselor, I think you just want to test my math tonight. This is a lot.
403,381.
To that public comment at the end. Just trying to approve the public participation. Okay, I need a motion to approve 403,381 as a whole. Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Drew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next line item, total other expenses for $162,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Valley,
Second.
seconded by Counselor Santos. Discussion. Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries for $162,000 to total other expenses. What is my total, Madam Caffo, on that line item for the treasurer's office?
565,381.
Thank you. Next, human resources, total personnel services, $453,583. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. I'm in discussion. See, yes, Counselor Drew.
I'd like to make a motion to reduce $500.
Counselor Drew made a motion to reduce $500 from total personnel services. I need a second for that to be voted on.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion on the 500? Seeing none?
Roll call, Madam Chair, please.
Roll call.
Counselor Valley.
No.
Counselor DiZoglio.
Yes.
Counselor Drew.
Yes.
Counselor McLaren.
Yes.
Counselor Masan.
No.
Counselor Pesh.
No.
Counselor Santos.
Yes.
And Chair Soto.
No.
4-4.
Motion fails. On to the next. Total, so I need a motion to approve, we need to vote on the 453,583 because that failed. I had a first and a second before the amendment, so I'm going to call a roll call on that total.
Counselor Valley.
On the total.
I was distracted. Yes.
Counselor DiZoglio.
Yes.
Counselor Drew.
Yes.
Counselor McLaren.
Yes.
Counselor Masan.
Yes.
Counselor Pesh.
Yes.
Counselor Santos.
Yes.
And Chair Soto?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Total on other expenses, 52,000 for that department. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Valley. I'm in discussion for the 52,000. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous, Madam Clerk. What's my total? 505, 583, Madam Capo? Thank you. Moving on to IT Information Technology, total personnel services, we're at 564,498. I need a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Valley. I'm in discussion on personnel services. Counselor Drew.
I'd like to make a motion to remove $1,700.
Motion to remove $1,700 from personnel services. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Counselor Valley. Any discussion on the 1,700? If not, I'll go to a roll call. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Counselor Valley?
No.
Counselor DeZoglio?
Yes.
Counselor Drew?
Yes.
Counselor McLaren?
No.
Counselor Marsan?
No.
Counselor Pesh?
Yes.
Counselor Santos?
No.
And Chair Soto?
No.
5 no, 3 yes.
Motion fails. On the total, 564,498.
So moved.
That's the main motion, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Total other expenses, $1,228,821. Motion to approve.
So moved. Point of information, Madam Chair. 1,288,000, and you said 1,228,000, right?
Yeah, I think, do I need my glasses on? I'll read it again.
Yeah.
1,228,821. That's the number I have on my paper. Does
That's
it
not what I
match
have.
yours?
So
Oh, it's in this.
there appears to be a typo on the appropriation order. I would recommend, we'll update that on our end here. It should be 1288.
That's because the 60's included. It's just because the 60's
Yes.
included.
Okay.
You've just got to vote it two separate things.
Got it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All
Forget that.
good.
Forget it. You're good.
So you just have to
So my
vote, so total
glasses work.
expenses and
Yes, they
total.
do.
Okay,
They
thank
do.
you very much.
The equipment outlay is built in on the other.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to repeat. I need a motion to approve total other expenses for $1,228,821.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew,
Second.
seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Seeing none, I'm going to go into the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Total equipment outlay, $60,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor DeZoglio, seconded by Counselor Santos. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Can I get, at the same total, correct? $1,853,320. Thank you, Madam Capo. All right, total, that was our total for Administration and Finance Department, at the bottom. You'll give that new number.
Just give me 1 second.
Can I move on, or do we do?
I don't think we need to vote that.
Okay. No, we're not voting on it, but in case they want it.
All right, I'll get that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you could rework those totals, that way I don't ask you and just get them to them. Or you'll have these updated for the second read.
Yeah,
correct?
once we go through
Perfect.
today, I'll
Yeah.
redo both.
You could
the
take it
detail.
light on your notes. All right? She's going to update them for you. Economic and Community Development on total personnel services, $640,758. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. I'm in discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Total other expenses, $118,143. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Counselor Santos. Discussion.
I'd like to cut $1,000 from that line.
I have a motion to cut $1,000 from that line item of total other expenses under economic development. I need a second for that to move forward. If not, it fails.
Second.
Seeing none, we're moving on, Counselor. The total remains the same at 118,143. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, 118,143. Total remains the same for 758,901 for economic and community development. Next, health and human services and inspection. Total personnel services, I'm at 1,530,164. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor DeZoglio, seconded by Counselor Santos. Discussion. I'm moving to the vote if there's no discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Total other expenses, 40,188. Motion to approve.
So move.
Motion by Counselor Valley, seconded by Counselor Drew. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The total remains the same, 1,570,351. That's total health, human services, and inspections. Moving on to police. Total personnel services, 13,577,210. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. Counselor DeZoglio, I see your hands up. Discussion.
So there's some cuts that I want to do, but in regards to the position that was going to be cut, I just want to, before I do these cuts, and I don't want to put the mayor on the spot, but Mr. Mayor, if I do these cuts, were you willing to work? Because the chief has provided me with some of the cuts he could do to make use of his department. If I make these cuts, are you willing to work to possibly save her position? Because I think she is a detrimental to this department. And I'm willing to make these cuts to, and the chief says he can make do with his department. I'm hoping by doing that, you will consider using this money to fund her position.
So I appreciate the advocacy of the chief, and I certainly appreciate the good work that the employee has done. However, during a year in which we are dealing with furloughs of police officers, patrol and superior, and firefighters, and the decimation of the school department, relatively speaking, year over year, that's not a commitment that I'm able to make.
What was the end? I didn't hear, Mayor. That's not going to happen, you said?
No.
Okay. So I'm in discussion. I have to pass the gavel for a question that I have, but I'd like to give the opportunity to the rest of the council. Do they have any other questions? No. Okay. So my question, Mr. Mayor, on total personnel services, I am a little, maybe concerned is not the word, but with the union conversation on the furloughs and the overtime conversation, we're voting first read today and then second read right before June 1st. And so I know we still have 30 days, and I'm not sure if you've met with them from yesterday to today to figure something out. I'm assuming not. So my question is, first read passes, fine. Second read, now you still don't have a finalized agreement with the unions. What happens then? You're forced to do the layoffs? Because my concern is I really don't want to see the layoffs. I think if we take this moment to kind of say, well, if we could push out the second read, but then I want to be cognizant that I lose some quorum for that second read in June. By the way, we're trying to have majority female council here, a hot girl summer, no disrespect, we'd like to tan. So what I'm saying with that is no special meetings, please. So if we have to push out, okay, the second read, obviously it's before July 1st, fine, right? But I don't want, I don't want to take that second vote if it's going to mean the layoffs in that department. And I defer.
So this speaks to some of the impact bargaining that will need to take place, and I'll invite the solicitor to chime in there.
So the city has the right to impose furloughs. So, and the chief has addressed that it will be difficult, but they'll work with it. We will impact bargain those with all unions, and we have reached out to them to see what we can do to mitigate those and work with the chief. So that will happen regardless. But the city is entitled to implement those as a managerial decision. So they will happen.
The furloughs?
The furloughs, correct. If this budget passes the way it is, and there's not sufficient money, then the mayor's plan will be implemented. We will impact bargain that with all unions, and we
Madam
have
Chair.
already begun to do that. So
Just-
go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
No, it's fine. Just to share some insight, so as part of the process a while back in terms of putting together the budget, one of the things that I had offered to unions in the city was the prospect of things like deferred COLAs, deferred longevity. For instance, if every union in the city were to defer their COLA by 1 year, that would save $4 million. Deferring longevity for 1 year would save the city $1 million, and of course we would work on potentially back-ending that and sorting that out. But just in the context of fiscal year 27, that would have been the likely savings. So absent that, that's where we looked at the prospect of furloughs to avoid layoffs. But ultimately, if there are unions that are interested in possibly identifying ways to try to limit the furloughs by achieving savings in other areas, I'm all ears. I'm willing to have those conversations and work with them. But ultimately, we'll need to maintain the numbers being approved tonight. I guess we could come back for a later second read, perhaps. However, those conversations will be ongoing throughout the month of June. And Solicitor, I don't know if you want to chime in as well. Do we need an adopted budget to engage in formal furlough discussions?
So I would not recommend you delay the second read. I would adopt the budget as you see fit and as amended with whatever cuts you have. If additional money comes in, the mayor will bring that back before you in a supplemental budget and will add to those line items. I think earlier he had said some anticipated revenue is already going to reduce the furloughs that we're expecting to, I can't remember what you said, Mayor, it was 60 hours or 80 hours or something like that. So they've already been reduced.
Okay.
One last point that I wanted to just mention, I think I mentioned this previously. I know we were talking about not doing any special meetings, but just considering that there's one regular meeting in June, and there are some other revenue assumptions built into the budget that would require actions of the council, I may need one special meeting at some point in June, so perhaps we can sort that out, but I just wanted to state that just for clarity, that we are going to probably need one.
Council is still allowed to meet remotely too if necessary.
Absolutely. That will be the preference. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to take the gavel back, and I'm going back to that total number. Under total personnel services, $13,577,210. I am going to take all those in favor.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Let's take the roll call.
Counselor Ballard.
Yes.
Counselor DeZoglio.
No.
Counselor Drew.
No.
Counselor McLaren.
No.
Counselor Masson.
Yes.
Counselor Pesh.
Yes.
Counselor Santos.
Yes.
And Chair Soto.
Yes.
5 yeas, 3 no.
Motion carries. Total other expenses, $857,924. Sorry. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. Discussion. Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Motion carries, Madam Clerk. Total equipment outlay, $15,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. All those in favor?
Aye.
You know what? I didn't say discussion. There was none, right? Oh, okay. Unanimous, Madam Clerk. All right, that was the total for police. Still the same, Madam Caffo, 14,450,134. I'm going on to fire. 13,785,957. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. Discussion.
I'd like to ask a question similar to your question on the furloughs. With the police, with the fire, they're contractually obligated on certain apparatus to have a certain number of people on it. This furloughs, is this going to force them to have more overtime? Are we going to have to shut down fire apparatus and so forth? Last thing I want to do is have any sort of safety issue with our fire department.
So this is an ongoing conversation with Methuen firefighters, Local 1691, in terms of how to properly balance this with the goal is with every union, if we can find opportunities to generate some savings in other areas and we can reduce the furloughs. I don't want to get into ongoing conversations with the unions, but we are sensitive to that, and that is an ongoing discussion.
Counselor DeZoglio.
To piggyback off of Councilor Drew, I knew, and I don't know the number, but I know there was quite a few firefighters that were out on injury. And the fact that we're cutting the overtime as well, it's just to piggyback off of that.
Sure, yeah, it's a legitimate concern for sure. This speaks to the importance of backfilling. We are in the process of working on backfilling several vacancies, Chief Toto and I, and so once we are up to a point where we're fully staffed within the department, that's going to help that issue tremendously, I think. The key really is to backfill, ensure that we're fully staffed, and that speaks to the importance of some of the appointments that were on the agenda earlier this week, and will be again in the coming weeks.
Okay. Thank you.
Counselor Valle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the mayor. My major concern is if the services provided to the constituents will be reduced if the services provided to the constituents will be reduced by the proposed furloughs. So that's like my major concern.
Yeah, so in terms of constructing the budget, I was very sensitive to the issue of brownouts, taking apparatuses off of service, out of service, off the streets. And so part of the work that I had done with the chief was trying to determine, especially when it comes to overtime, what that floor would be for instance, overtime. And so if we were to hypothetically take an entire truck offline, out of service for the full year, overtime, bare minimum would need to be $1,120,000. And so that is an unacceptable result to me. I look at Lowell, I look at New Bedford, I look at other municipalities that are actually taking vehicles and the like offline, closing fire stations. Absolutely not. I refuse to do that. And so in consultation with the chief, the goal was to determine, okay, where can we tighten up overtime, right? But do so in a way where we're meeting at least that minimum need when it comes to maintaining all of these apparatuses, making sure that they're out there serving residents. And this is reflective of that number that they really need to be at. The chief had indicated 1.48 million bare minimum to keep everything on the road. So we're at 1.5. It's going to require some strict controls throughout the year to maintain that. But again, as I referenced, we're having ongoing conversations with the union about how we can try to mitigate this, achieve the number that we're looking to achieve to maintain zero variance in the budget, but do so in a way that's realistic and reflects the needs of our residents, the requirements of minimum staffing and the like in their CBA. But where we are here, tight, but I think doable in consultation with the chief.
Okay. So whatever we have in front of us today was discussed with the union and the chief, and they are in agreement.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions or discussions on total personnel services? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Total other expenses, $602,650. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Motion carries. That total remains the same, Madam CAFO, at $14,388,607. Thank you. You'll give them the new subtotal tomorrow, I'm assuming. Okay. Methuen Public Schools is next on our agenda. Total budget for Methuen Public Schools is $114,076,970. Motion to approve. Motion by Counselor Santos,
Second.
seconded by Counselor Marsan. I'm in discussion. Seeing none, all those in, should I take a roll call on this one? Yeah, okay. Madam Clerk, they want to take a roll call on this one. Thank you.
Counselor Valley,
Yes.
Counselor DeZoglio,
No.
Counselor Drew,
No.
Counselor McLaren,
Yes.
Counselor Marsan,
Yes.
Counselor Pesh. No. Counselor Santos,
Yes.
and Chair Soto.
Yes.
5 yes, 3 no.
5 yes, 3 no. Motion carries. Next is Greater Lawrence Technical School for $6,419,035. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Santos.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Valley. I'm in discussion.
What, is the superintendent still here?
Counselor Marsan has,
So the superintendent came up. He said he had the wrong date, so he left. He was told he had to be here tonight to present his budget. So that's why he didn't do that last night.
So
he didn't want to wait. We could have called him up.
yeah, we could have called him up.
That's fine.
He
Okay.
wasn't here.
Well, I'm on the number, so go ahead.
Sorry, do we have any information that was presented to us by him? He didn't leave anything or anything? No.
He didn't leave.
No, I don't have anything. Not a packet like Essex Act, right?
Yeah, and they're cheaper.
So I would just, I'm not suggesting what you should do. I will just tell you that we are a member of this district, and whether or not we approve this or not, it's going to get taken out of our budget by the state. So just keep that in mind. I understand that we have not been provided with a budget book or any breakdown or any presentation. So, but just so you're aware, it's one of those items that we are part of this district, so they will automatically deduct.
Madam
I just,
Kappa.
as a note, I was able to pull the budget book down from their website. So I have it electronically. I pulled it down today, so I have it electronically that I will circulate.
Thank you. So the CAFA will circulate that for you. Counselor Drew?
I appreciate you being willing to do the work of getting us the information that should have been presented by that department head. This is not the first time that we have seen a problem, and I'm a product of Greater Lawrence Tech. I graduated there, and I'm a proud Reggie, and I wouldn't be here today as a licensed professional without that school. But just for that, I'm going to vote no on this budget, just for out of
Counselor DeZoglio.
Yeah, I can't vote in good confidence when the department head couldn't provide us with the information to represent his school. and we pay more and we send less. So, you know, I would think he would be more willing to stay and talk to us when we're paying more than the other districts.
Any other comments? Solicitor stated it's like a bill. Oh, Councilor Valley.
Can this read be postponed until we hear from the superintendent? No?
No, you mean postpone the read we're doing right now? So you want me to?
No.
Okay, then you have to vote. If you're a no, Counselor, vote a no. Exercise your right. Counselor Marsan.
Could we make a phone call to him and see if he'd come back and present, and we move it later in the budget? If that's what the will of the council,
Well,
or if they're just going to vote.
what it seems to me here is that the council would like, and don't get offended by this comment, humored by what he's going to present to us. But at the end of the day, we're part of that charter. And in that charter, it's like providing us, it's an invoice that we have to pay for our students to attend. So we still have to pay that bill regardless. I understand, you know, that he should have been here for the workshop, 100%. But at this point, I don't want to stall this budget. If you're going to vote a no, you know, it's your first read. He can come back for your second read. Would you do that for us and let him know?
100%.
Appreciate that, Counselor Marsan. So,
Just for, I mean, if two of the communities vote no, he has to rework his budget.
Well, that is true. That is true. If 2 communities or more vote no, he would have to rework the budget.
100%. Have they voted yet? I didn't do that homework before coming today, and I don't think so because we're actually early. We're one of the earlier ones.
2 have and 1 hasn't.
2, I'm sorry?
2 have and 1 hasn't, I believe.
Okay, so 2 voted yes?
2 of the 3 have voted for it, of the other communities.
And we're 4.
Well,
So what happens if 2 vote no and 2 vote yes?
I believe the charter says if 2 vote no, he has to go back and do it again. I will also say if you vote any way you want, but if for some reason it wasn't adopted at first read, the mayor can put it back in for second read and it can be adopted then. So.
Okay. I'm going to take a roll call on, let me read that again, $6,419,035.
Counselor Valley.
Yes.
Counselor DeZoglio.
No.
Counselor Drew.
Nope.
Counselor McLaren.
No.
Counselor Marsan.
yes.
Counselor Pesh. No. Counselor Santos.
Yes.
And Chair Soto.
Yes,
4-4.
that fails, correct? Essex North Shore Agricultural and Technical School for $288,263. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Counselor Drew.
I appreciate that school showing up. They had a lovely presentation, and such a wonderful school.
Any other comments or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Yes.
opposed? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. So, again, there was one that failed, and that you will let us know if that's going to come back, correct? Public Works, total personnel services, $5,419,649. I need a motion to approve. Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Counselor DeZoglio.
I just want to just be quick. As I said last night at the hearing, I do not believe that DPW can function with this budget. I understand the mayor had to work very hard to get to this number, and this is I know we're in really bad times, but it seems like every single time throughout my time living here in Methuen, DPW always gets the short end of the stick. It is personal to me. I've known a lot of those guys, and I know how much they work hard for the city, and they always get the short end of the stick. So I'm going to be a no, just the fact of the history just continues to repeat itself.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Any comments, Counselor? Any more further comments on this side? Okay, I'll take a roll call on that one.
Counselor Valley,
Yes.
Counselor DeZoglio,
No.
Counselor Drew,
Yes.
Counselor McLaren,
Yes.
Counselor Marsan,
Yes.
Counselor Pesh,
Yes.
Counselor Santos,
Yes.
and Chair Soto.
Yes,
7 yes, 1 no.
so that passes. Thank you. Total other expenses, $1,259,170. Motion to approve.
So move.
Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Valley. I'm in discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
One no. Seven yes. Motion carries. Total fuel expenses, $934,010. Motion to approve.
So move. Second.
Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, $200,000 total snow and ice. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Pesh, seconded by Counselor Santos. DeZoglio. Counselor DeZoglio.
Quick question, Mr. Mayor. And is 200,000 like the normal for snow and ice? Do you guys budget that way all the time, 200,000?
So this is the one area of the budget where we can legally carry a deficit. So to free up resources for other areas of the budget, also keeping in mind that year to year, winter weather is highly unpredictable. I'm hearing we're in for some El Nino this year or something like that. So we'll see what happens with the weather, but it's very difficult to predict with any degree of certainty. So given the fact that we historically have gone to free cash to cover any issues with these line items, it's commonplace to budget on the lower end, given the fact that it's the one area where we are technically allowed to do that, as long as we maintain year-over-year levels.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? That's usually like 600,000 when we get the bill, correct? Year after year is like 600, 700 on snow and...
2 million. 2.5 million, yeah.
Yeah, I'm way off. Yeah, okay, so motion to, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries for the 200,000. The total hasn't changed, Madam Clerk, correct? 7 million, let me put my glasses on. Yeah, 7,812,829. Solid waste disposal, motion to approve total other expenses at $6,230,000.
So
So move.
Motion by Counselor Marsan, seconded by Counselor Santos. Counselor Drew.
I'm going to probably take some heat on this one.
Oh, just word to the wise.
I don't want to do an irresponsible cut like somebody previously would have. But I think in where we are, being responsible, last year there was an aggressive cut made to this line, and then there was an irresponsible cut made on top of that. We didn't have the person in the position to do the job and try to ensure and drive that revenue to bring that line item down. We are in a spot that is not very good across this city, as we have all seen coming down these lines. Myself nitpicking $1,000 out of certain line items. That's driving the CAFO crazy. But I think we need to look at possibly cutting $200,000 from solid waste or tipping fees.
I have a motion on the floor to cut $200,000 from the tipping fees. There's a second by Counselor Pesh. I'm going to take a roll call on that. And yeah, discussion on the 200.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just saying that this is now history repeating itself, because I will say this, I know I'm working on the ordinance right now, but there is no process. There is no process. They have not been, the fee, what they're banking on for revenue, I don't see it happening unless the processes are put in place, which I'm working with the solicitor's office right now, trying to get a process together. I strongly recommend this council not to do that. Again, I'm just saying history repeating itself. And I will be here next year when, if we don't fit those numbers, I will not agree to free cash. I'm saying that right now because that would be reckless. So I'm just saying, I'm going to make it loud and clear again. I am not thinking we should cut this item.
Councilor Pesh had her hand first, so I'm going to.
Thanks. So I get it. It's funny. Councilor Drew kind of mentioned this to me, and my first reaction was similar to Councilor DiZoglio. I was here in the last council. I don't think we were irresponsible. I think we were overly optimistic with how something was going to unfold. Now, having said that, I do want to learn from our mistakes. I think 200,000 is a far cry from what we cut last time. We also know that that person is currently in the position. We have seen downward trends in tipping already. And again, I understand the hesitation with wanting to use free cash, but it's either pay now or pay later. You know, in my opinion, with the budget as tight as it is, I will support a $200,000 cut, understanding that we've seen downward trends. We are currently implementing education. We have someone in the role to roll this out to the residents. We have barrel fees being implemented, fines in place. And I think just alone with the education, we also have monthly updates coming so that we can foresee this. So it won't be history repeating itself, in my opinion. And I think it frees up some money that can be better allocated by our mayor to the schools, to other areas that we need it more. And again, we're not paying now, even if we pay later. I'd rather free up the money now.
Okay. I'm going to go in order on the way you guys requested. Councilor Valley's next. Then I got two over there, and then I'm coming to.
I do agree with Councilor Drew and Councilor Pesh. This is a revenue generating position that was created. I know in the ordinance that you put together, Councilor DiZoglio, will be receiving a report every month in the invoices, so we can foresee if there's any issue beforehand. So we don't need to wait a year to find out if we have issues or not.
Councilor Marsan, then Santos, then McLaren, then you can have the floor again, Councilor.
Mine is quick. I just don't want to go through what we went through this year. And if we have a surplus there, it goes in free cash, put it back in. So, thank you.
So I am going to agree with Councilor Drew with the 200 cut, just because we created a new position to control the waste, and we should start seeing some improvement in that area.
Councilor McLaren.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're so fine. Don't worry. We're beefing now. You're okay. Through you, Madam Chair, to I guess maybe the CAFO. Obviously, I voted yes very begrudgingly on that school budget, simply because I don't have the ability to add money myself to it. If I could, I would. And I'd love to see another $200,000 go to our school budget. But like several councilors have said now, I also don't want to see us back in the same place we were just a couple weeks ago, pulling free cash for something that we should have budgeted for. So I guess my question is, in the conversation I had with Councilor Drew earlier, in terms of our tonnage going down and the fees that we're now implementing, do we have any way to forecast the kind of savings that will result in us, the kind of revenue that will generate, and will that foreseeably bridge the gap, or are we just totally guessing here that we hope that we'll make enough to bridge the gap? I know it's a very difficult question, perhaps, but.
Yeah, so, with the enhanced effort to educate the public, to really crack down on especially the so-called scofflaws out there who just take total advantage of the system. We have seen in that initial piloting of that type of concept late last year, tangible results by way of, for instance, take a street in the city that this was tested out on, Oakland Ave, I believe was one of them. There was a noticeable difference in terms of some of the violations that were typically found previously. So with that sustained effort, I think that will help for sure with the tonnage issue to quantify that specifically or to accurately predict, say, revenue from fines. That, I think, is a little trickier to try to quantify with any degree of certainty. So I wouldn't want to commit to a specific dollar amount, but the goal ultimately is to just try to move the program in a more sustainable direction, do whatever we can with boots on the ground to lower the tonnage, and that will certainly reap dividends with improved behaviors. However, specifically, I don't know if we can quantify that precisely.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I will say, if the intent is for the $200,000, if it is passed, to go to the schools, that's roughly 2 teachers and 2 paras.
Would you repeat the ending, Mr. Mayor? We couldn't hear you on this corner.
I'm sorry. If the intent is for the $200,000 reduction to go to the schools, that's roughly 2 teachers and 2 paraprofessionals.
I'm going back to Councilor DeZoglio.
So to the Madam Caffo, so if all of a sudden, in say 5 months, we can open up the budget and reduce the 200,000 if we wanted to, correct? Like, could we? We can never do a reduction in a line item.
The mayor can transfer money, but you can't.
Okay. So in the end, in 5 months, 6 months, if we see the tonnage going down, the mayor could also come back and say, hey guys, the tonnage is going down. We see something here. We can remove $200,000 from this line item, and we would dip into free cash just a little bit compared to almost $1 million. He could do that. With all the reports we could getting, we could possibly save money down the road. I'd rather do that 5 months, six months from now, take the 200,000 and be fiscally responsible. Because again, we're going on a hunch. We don't know what the projections are going. So that's my comfortable about it.
So just to clarify, what we could do is if the mayor wanted to do that, he wouldn't be able to cut it completely out at that point. He'd have to move it somewhere else if that's what he wanted to do. But okay.
I just wanted to mention something else, and this speaks to the projection for last year. So when the CAFO ran these numbers to project out what we would need for the tipping fee line last year, her initial projection was pretty much spot on. And so this is reflective of a similar type of projection. So also just to state for the record, this is what we expect in terms of tipping fees.
Councilor Drew.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So my idea behind this also is if we take $200,000 out of this and we move it to the schools and we avoid 4 layoffs, at the anticipated cost of a layoff being $5,500, we're going to save roughly $22,000. And Madam Caffo, I'm not a banker by any means, but I'm pretty sure we're going to make more money doing that than having it sit in the bank. Yes? So, I mean, $25,000 on a return seems like a way bigger windfall to me than anything else. So that alone is a key factor to this. The other part of it is I have a lot of trust in my fellow counselor that he's going to put together a very robust ordinance that is going to put together a barrel fee that is going to be implemented well. And then, like all of us who campaigned, we are going to hold people accountable. Every month, we're going to get these receipts. We're going to look at it. We have a finance subcommittee now that is going to hold the CAFO accountable. We have to hold people accountable. We are in a tight budget. We can't just say, oh, well, you know, maybe. No. If it's trending in the wrong way, we're going to raise the flag. We're not going to let it sit and get to the 85% and go, oh, whoops. We're going to see it. Oh, this isn't trending properly. We're going to lose. Let's make this change now. I'm saying take the $200,000. Let's save the city $22,000 in layoff costs. Just makes more sense to me.
Anybody else? Councilor McLaren.
Not to be redundant, just a clarifying question through you, Madam Chair, to the mayor. You will, if we pass this, put this $200,000 towards the school. No questions asked.
Yes.
Thank you.
Confirming with the capo that can happen. Yes, okay. Nobody else? I'm going to take a roll call on this.
Counselor Valley.
Absolutely, yes.
Counselor DeZoglio.
No.
Excuse me. Counselor Drew.
Yes.
Counselor McLaren.
Yes.
Counselor Marsan.
No.
Counselor Pesh.
Yes.
Counselor Santos.
Yes.
And Chair Soto.
No.
5 yes, 3 no.
Motion carries. All righty. So total public works remains the same, correct?
Total public works, yes. Total solid waste decreased to $6,030,000.
Yeah. So now I need a motion to approve the number as a total, $6,030,000.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion,
'Cause I-
no. Counselor Marsan?
No.
The same three, no.
Oh, same 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries. Elder Services, total personnel services, $370,866. I'm sorry?
That last vote, was that 6-2? Just
It passed, yes. Mhm. No, the last vote was 5-3, no?
Correct.
5-3. Elder Services, $370,866. Motion to approve. Motion by Counselor
Second.
Pesh, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Total other expenses, $77,050. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Total elder services remains the same at $447,916. Veteran benefits, total personnel services, $134,724. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Marsan, seconded by Counselor Santos. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Motion carries. Total other expenses, $306,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Pesh, seconded by Counselor Drew. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. $440,724 is the total veterans benefits. Under total human services, that remain the same, correct, Madam Capo? Thank you. Nevins Memorial Library, Nevins Memorial Library expenses, $1,929,340. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Pesh, seconded by Counselor Drew. All those in favor, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk, motion carries. Bond and interest, principal, $4,680,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. Discussion. Seeing none? Did you have your hand up, Counselor? None, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Interest, $2,151,868. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Risk management, insurance premiums for properties, $1,165,957. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. I'm in discussion right now. Are you waiting to look at your paper, or you can move on? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, unanimous. Transfer to unemployment, $1,000. Motion to approve.
So move.
Motion by Counselor Valley, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Transfer to 11F for $1,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
By Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Am I going too fast for you?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you. Transfer to workers' compensation, $1,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Counselor Pesh, seconded by Counselor DiZoglio. Discussion. Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Going into employee benefits now, group health insurance, $19,450,901. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Drew. Discussion. None? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Group health insurance, $80,000.
Life insurance, Madam Chair.
Life insurance, thank you for that. It's getting late, it's past my bedtime, actually. All right, life insurance for $80,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Medicare tax, $1,700,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Pesh. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Transfer to comp absences fund, $1,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Motion carries. State assessments, $4,531,130. Did I miss something? Other expenses, where's that? Did I? Oh, I skipped a whole category, counselors. I'm going back. The top total remains the same for total employees. That's $21,231,901. I'm going to contributory pensions. Pension fund for $17,261. I'm sorry, $261,838. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Santos. Discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Unanimous, Madam Clerk. But it's not on my paper, though. Did I miss it? The clerk is telling me there was a $2,200,000. Can you verify I didn't miss that? It's not on the form you gave me, Madam Counsel. It's for, from the comp fund. So it could be an error from our office, because that's our cheat sheet. Huh?
What is it from?
Other expenses, under employee benefits, do you have any?
No.
No, okay, then that's mine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor McLaren. We do have a blank line. That was last year.
Okay, that was.
All right, perfect. All right, so that total employee benefits, you'll get your updated number tomorrow. The bottom there. State assessments. $4,531,134. Motion to approve. Motion by Counselor Pesh, seconded by Counselor DeZoglio. I'm in discussion. Seeing none? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. All right. Overlay, $500,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion. I have a question, point of information. What is the overlay for?
Overlay is when people get assessments, they get abatements or exemptions, it comes out of there.
Oh, that's true. I think you explained that, yeah. All right, discussion, no questions, no discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Offset, $7,752. Motion to approve.
Second.
Counselor Pesh, first, motion by Counselor Pesh, second by Counselor Valley. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk, motion carries. That total remains the same, $507,752. All right, I'm not giving a grand total because those are the updated for the second read, correct? I'm going into the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund. That's at the bottom of that page. And that's our last section, counselors. Total personnel services, $3,705,606. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Motion carries, Madam Clerk. Total other expenses, $3,416,500. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Drew, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion. Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Greater Lawrence Sanitary District, $4,200,000. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor DeZoglio, seconded by Counselor Drew. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. There's debt, $3,270,303. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Valley, seconded by Counselor Drew. Discussion.
I have a question, Madam.
Yes,
Through
Counselor
you
Valley.
to the CAFO or the mayor, is that water bills from the residents owed to the?
So the water sewer fund pays for bonds and, outstanding bonds that are related to water sewer. So that's principal and interest on debt
okay.
payments.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions, concerns, comments? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Employee benefits, $994,897. Motion to approve.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Valley. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, motion carries. Trash outs and indirect costs, $3,303, $3,303,810. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Santos, seconded by Counselor Valley. I'm sorry, Counselor Drew. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk, motion carries. That total is $18,891,116. Total enterprise fund. That remained the same for FY 2027. This concludes our budget, correct?
It does. Madam Chair, I just wanted to say again, thank you to the council for your due diligence, for your hard work this week, and thank you again, Madam Chair, for your leadership through this process as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilor Marsan.
So we don't have to vote on a grand total of the main budget tonight to pass?
You don't have to vote on the totals.
So for the next read, full disclosure, I am gonna vote on everything.
Okay.
Is that okay? Because that's the last number that they'll approve.
Yeah.
So if that's that way, we're all happy. Because I watched your video. You voted on the totals last year.
Do you have the total?
Yeah, the general fund, yeah.
Yeah, you did that. But. Okay. Well, this concludes tonight. I'll take a motion. If anybody has any remarks, you may do them now. If not, I'll see you after the holiday on Tuesday is the second read, so come ready. Thank you so much for your patience this evening and for your hard work. And I'll take a motion to...
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Counselor Pesh, seconded by Counselor Drew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. It is now 9:43, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Good night, Methuen.